that one in?
Yeah, of course. I mean, of course, I thought he brought it in, got all the confidence in making those catches. Went and talked to him. He said he wasn't sure. Obviously, watch it. It was close to hit the ground.
Did the weather compromise when you're going a certain way as far as some of the passes you wanted to throw, or were they kind of taken out of their game plan just because of the conditions?
No, not really. I think I just struggled. I struggled early in those first few series before I put the gloves on. I couldn't get a real grip on the ball. I wasn't driving the ball. And that's all me. That hurt the team. I missed some throws, some wide open throws that convert third downs that we continue to move, and I can't do that. I mean, I got to put the gloves on earlier, figure something out. So it wasn't anything like that. I eventually got it going.
What was the decision to not put the gloves on before?
Right.
I just have never worn them. Only worn them in practice before. It was cold when I wore them in practice. Wasn't raining. Didn't feel like they did anything better than the bare hands. But I found out tonight with the rain that they're pretty helpful.
Was it the throw to Randall that made you?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean,
did that slip out of your hands?
Yeah, man, just didn't have any confidence in driving it. And then, just got away from me and wasn't even anywhere near him. And at that point, it was, hey, I've got to do something. Give me those gloves. And put the gloves on, threw a couple of passes on the sideline, and I was normal.
On the interception, had nothing to do with the weather? It was just a late throw?
I think it was a late throw, and I didn't drive it. We can say whatever the reason is. I mean, I just didn't drive it. Didn't step in the throw. Sat on my back heel, threw it.
Right.
He made a great play undercutting, and it's a great catch. Great catch by him.
Yeah, one of the things that New England does really well is take certain players away, take what you do well, take strengths away. Look at Amari's numbers; they weren't great. Did they take him away from you today?
I mean, I would say that. I just said, I said it. They made a little bit more plays and fewer mistakes than we did, and we didn't make many. It was just one of those games. Just take what they give you on both sides of the ball, fighting the conditions on both sides of the ball, and they came out on top.
What was your take on the decision to kick the field goal on 4th and 7?
Nothing. I'm not going against my coach right there.
Can you talk about the play on 3rd and 7? And was that a situation also where if you would have gotten a few yards, you probably would have gone for it?
The one to Jarwin?
Jarwin on the back.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just playing the drive out right there. Obviously, we just had a big play. We're going. Nowhere in that situation did I go over there and discuss anything with the coaches. So I'm not really sure. Maybe if we do get some yards right there, that happens. But I had confidence in making that throw to Jarwin. He almost got his feet down, and if he does, it's different. So.
On that note, how much does this feel like a missed opportunity to be so close against a team that's this great?
For sure, it's a missed opportunity. From the whole team and then from myself, from this offense. We had the ball in our hands, and that's all I can ask for is the ball in my hands with the game on the line, and just didn't get it done. Simple as that.
What do you say about this team? You have no wins against teams with winning record. Vikings, now the Green Bay, now the Patriots. You haven't been able to get over the hump against good playoff teams.
Yeah, we got to get over the hump. Simple as that. Fortunately, in some way, we still control our destiny. So that's the good part about it, and we've just got to figure it out and beat some of these good teams before we to put ourselves in position to make it to that tournament and to be able to beat those teams then.
Do you look at this as a 5-game season right now?
Of course. No, actually, I look at it as 1-game season. We've got a quick turnaround. This thing is behind us. It's already behind me. It's behind this team. We'll be on tomorrow. Getting ready for the Bills. We've got a quick one coming up on Thursday, and we can't have a hangover. We'll be ready, and we'll be ready to go.
Have you ever seen 2 tripping calls before?
I haven't, no.
Never.
Did they say anything to you at all?
No, obviously, I'm not looking at the guy's feet. I'm not looking at that. My eyes are downfield. I throw the ball, see a flag. I don't know whether it's tripping, hands to the face, holding, or what. I'm just playing the play.
Did it feel like the borderline calls that all seem to go against you guys today?
Good day.
That's been all season long. So, it's no surprise. It's nothing new. As I've said before, and I was continue to say, I'm just going to play the play. That's my job. I'll let those guys do their job, and that's for y'all to decide what they're doing or not.
Good day. Actually has a significant setback. He said we needed this win more than the Patriots did. Do you think it was a significant setback?
No.
Why not?
Because that was a good team we played. That was a championship team we played right there. As I said, they made fewer mistakes than we did and more plays than we did. And once again, I'm going to bet on myself and my team every chance with the ball in my hands, with the ball in our hands on offense, with a chance to win the game. So, as I said, this one's behind us. We definitely can't say it's a setback or have a setback when we've got a game here in 4 days. So, not at all is it a setback.
Another slow start factors in, especially with the conditions and their defense, just making it harder on yourself than it needs to be.
Yeah, we've got to figure it out. That's been our struggles all year long. The one game that we dominated, we obviously started fast, and so when we do that, we know what we can do and what the team we can be. So we've got to figure that out and just get going.
And you were back backed up, all game. I guess your best field position was 36, and then certainly the last 4 drives was probably the 20 to 8 to 15.
Yeah.
I mean, how tough it is to go against that defense having to drive the field?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, that defense is good. They're well coached. They don't make mistakes. You add the conditions. It was tough. We once again made mistakes that hurt ourselves on 3rd down, and it's always going to be tough to win a game, especially against a team like this on the road in these conditions when you're not making plays and executing and being clean.
You mentioned they made fewer mistakes than you guys did. Is that an issue with coaching?
No, not at all. I wouldn't say that interception I had by any means was on any coach. So, no, sorry.
How about the special teams miscues that you guys made?
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the iPad, not locked in necessarily on the special teams. Worrying about the next series.
You said mistakes made on 3rd down again, but y'all have been the best 3rd down team in the league. So how different did it feel today to struggle so much on 3rd down?
Yeah, I mean, it was different. It was different. We didn't, and that was the difference in the game. We didn't get to elongate these drives and continue to push field position or whatever it is. I mean, that's the difference. They did. We're backed up all game long. If we do, we back them up. And that's complimentary football, and we didn't do our job on offense tonight.
Did the Patriots defense show you new looks, or did they give you what you were expecting?
Yeah, for the most part, what we're expecting.
Yeah.
Nothing that they haven't done on film. There's just a good defense that's very well coached, very disciplined, don't make many mistakes.
What do you tell your defense after a day like this when they're pretty effective stuff?
Yeah, that's on me. That's on me first, and that's on the offense. We've got to be better. They did a good job of giving us opportunities time after time, and we didn't capitalize.
I feel like you guys are too talented to be a 6-5 football team.
I'm not going to sit here and dwell on our record. We're a talented team. We've got confidence in ourselves. We're going to get back to it tomorrow and worry about the Bills on Thanksgiving. Thank you.
That's Dak Prescott on the Dallas Cowboys radio network as the Cowboys lose to the Patriots 13-9 when it comes time to shop for your tailgate favorites.
All right, that's good information. Brian Broaders and Ari Timken is doing the post-game talk. We're going to talk a little bit and to jump back and forward with 105.3 The Fan. Shout out to them. That's where you can catch all of the information. Somebody in the chat box, let me know when they're back live.
We will read that for you again, and just how upset is he at the coaching in this game, the tripping penalties, all of that coming up. You're listening to the Dallas Cowboys.
Y'all let me know when they're back live, but here's the thing. So we're going to keep this thing going with no commercial breaks. Here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. What I took away from his interview, he said that he went out there and he didn't know that the ball was going to be slippery as he threw the ball with no gloves. Now, remember we was talking about preparation, proper planning, and also we was talking about you got to be ready for this moment. Hey, Cowboy fans, we were saying Wednesday. Some people were saying Tuesday that there's going to be a wet field. It's going to be raining out there. We got Jerry Jones, a billionaire who knows millions of people down there in Hollywood, supposedly. You mean to tell me you can't find a rain machine? You can't get some water hose, some wet Nerf footballs or something, or do something out there at the Texas Stadium or at Arlington Stadium, wherever, and get this guy hand on the ball and see can he throw a wet football? These people are getting paid millions and millions of dollars. You mean to tell me we can't find a situation where you can make it, you can simulate what it's going to look like? I know you can't simulate the actual Patriots team out there, but at least you can control this thing by at least putting some type of wet out there in footballs. Drills, preparation, planning. Come on. We got to be better than this, Cowboy Nation. We get paid billions. Look, the Dallas Cowboys get paid billions of dollars. We still go buy merch. We go buy tickets. We go to the game. We there. We ready to see some things. Simulation for the nation, baby. And it took him to go through some few series of throwing the ball without a glove to realize that, hey, I need a glove. Hey, OJ, what up, man? You got that glove? This one don't fit. I need something to hold on to this ball. We need to figure out ways, Cowboy Nation, to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. I've been saying this from day one. I do know that a lot of people don't like me when I'm talking about the truth, and a lot of people would rather have the comfortable lies and say, well, the penalties can be corrected. Don't you know that this has been going on for what? Over 10 years now, collectively.
Fear the taft.
Collectively speaking, this has been going on for pretty much on the largelyhood of over 10 years. I'm talking about the coaching staff in general. Even though he's been the head football coach for 9.5, but if you think about it, he had his fingerprints on his team for over 10 years. And we've been seeing the same situation. We got to plan better. We got to execute better. We got to be better, and we got to be sound and disciplined. And also, I can't give Jason Garrett all of the blame because we got to look at the defensive side. They've been gashing us. I know people that have been watching this channel for 3 years, because I've only been doing YouTube for this thing for 3 years. There's been some people that's sitting there saying that, hey, Law, we need a true defensive tackle. We need a true defensive tackle. For every year I look into my chat feed, we need a true defensive tackle. We need a true defensive tackle.
Tripping is clear. Now I've seen some clear tripping plays where you're beat on a play to the you set hard to the outside, and then the defender comes back to the inside, and you clearly take and lift your foot up.
That's the intent of the penalty.
That is the absolute intent of the penalty. But what happens? I can't tell you how many times they could call tripping in a game when you watch just normal pass blocking going on. I mean, for 2 times in one game, and trust me, I'm lucky I didn't lose my mind on Pereira today in the pregame show. I tried to be really nice, but then again, these guys are going to get on an airplane and they're going to fly somewhere else and ruin somebody else's life. You know, that's why I asked them the question about should there be accountability?
Right.
You know, Bill Jones had 3. I'm using Bill Jones. This is his name, not Bill Jones, CBS 11.
Right, yeah.
But Bill Jones will not referee this week because he had 3 missed calls in the last 2 weeks. You know, I mean, these officials, they cost you opportunities. They
On
cost
third downs, you better be damn sure that's an actual penalty.
That's absolutely right. And to me, if you're in a situation where it's 2 teams, let these teams battle it out. This is what I appreciate about hockey so much, is the officials will stay out of the way and let the players decide a game. Yes. I'm not saying you should be able to hold a trip, clip every single play, but let the players, if it's a game like this, nobody wants to see a call made like that.
The tripping penalties were disingenuous to the spirit of the tripping penalty.
Right.
At the end of the day, they were engaged in blocks.
If you could clearly show me where there was the intent of sticking the foot out.
Because you're beat.
Yeah, and if you're beat.
Right.
I have a real part. But again, Dak Prescott said it in the postgame. You know, Dak is always going to fall on the sword. He's always going to fall on the sword. He's going to say, hey, I have to make more plays. And you know what? That's the responsibility of the quarterback. The coach is going to say what he's going to say, but I could always count on this quarterback when it's not right to fall on the sword for everybody else. And he didn't play well. I mean, he didn't play to the normal Dak Prescott level that we've seen. He missed some throws. It's unfortunate that the glove thing went, is that something that should have been done earlier in the football game? You always worry about that when you're practicing with gloves. Why does it take, maybe you should have gone with the glove to start the game.
Right.
That's where if you're warming up and it's like, man, the ball is just not feeling right in my hand.
Yeah.
It's not feeling good in my hand right now.
True.
So he was talking about the throw he missed to Cobb. That's where he changed into the gloves.
And look, I think
appreciate you too.
Officials, they're going to miss calls. There's going to be bad calls.
Law on that 3rd and 7 where Doc got flushed out to his left, I believe there was nothing but green grass. Looked like Doc just needed to beat number 70.
We'll realize.
I'm going to look at that too. I really do, man. Really appreciate you for the donation to help grow the nation too.
The low-hanging fruit and just blame Jason Garrett bit. Because they missed another opportunity. Again, how many times have we seen this? We talked about it earlier. Opportunity in New Orleans. Opportunity against the Packers. Opportunity, How about go win a game against the Jets? Philadelphia's trying to give you the division. You just don't want to take it right now.
Academy Sports and Outdoors, a store with top brands like Adidas, Shimano, Rawlings, and Columbia. All guaranteed low prices.
Appreciate Academy Sports, man. Already throwing in that sponsor tag. But here's the thing. There's no PC Brothers now. He's not held in check by the DallasCowboys.com. Shout out to DallasCowboys.com. I'm not throwing any salt at them because everybody know we love the DallasCowboys.com. But Brian Brothers is telling everybody the truth.
I'm not.
Yes.
Calls at this particular time in that area, but that at the end of the day, we just got ourselves in this spot of where we need to win a game like this, and you come into New England at this time where these Patriots are, how well they play here, and how well they're and how acclimated they are to weather. You've really dug your hole back when you were playing the Jets and back when you were playing those guys, when you really look at it. So while we're disappointed, we would like to have had some of those plays go our way. That's what you get.
Why do you think you're struggling winning?
What?
Why do you think you're struggling beating a team that's got a winning record this year?
Well, let's give New England at home a real lot to say about how come we didn't win out here today. But I think we are when we run up against an opponent that gets it together. We have tough time coordinating how we put our offense and our defense out there and have them playing excellent both at the same time. And we also know that special teams, when you've got the ability to get in here and kind of understand that when you're on a sloppy day, special teams can rule the day. And they've got a coach that knows how to play this game and did a good job of that. My hat's off to it.
Special teams has been a problem all year, and it seems like they targeted their special teams. They figure they can get something done on you. What's been your problem with special teams?
Well, I think that it's every aspect of special teams, when you really look at it, have been problematic for us. There's no question about that.
Oh, my goodness.
Every aspect of special teams has been problematic for us.
Yeah, we had Mickey on the other day when I was on. I was with the Power Hour with the guys, with the KNC boys, and we asked Mickey the question about why the problems on the kickoff coverage team. And Mickey said, well, you got a lot of young guys. You got to look at, but yeah, they got a lot of core guys on these things too now. Joe Thomas is a core special teams player for them and had the missed block. So, that you got to know where Slater, where he is. He's one of their best specialty. You've got to know he is the one guy that can block this kick, block this punt. Let's make sure we get a hat on him. So yeah, if you want to blame it on young guys and stuff like that, fine. But also know there's some core special teams players that are not playing very well for that general manager.
How many special teams coaches, coordinators have there been under Jason Garrett? 3?
Oh, geez, okay.
Joe DeCamillis?
Joe DeCamillis was one of them.
Rich Bisaccia?
Rich Bisaccia was one of them, and now Keith O'Quinn. Yeah.
Was there one before Joe D?
Trying to think of that. Bruce DeHaven was with, I'm going all the way back to Parcells. So
you're going way
Bruce
back.
DeHaven, and then who was with Wade Phillips? But I'm just going through all the special teams coaches that have been here.
I think Joe D was there
Joe
for a
D
while.
was there. So yeah, it's one thing. They talk about this, do the special teams, do they on the 53-man roster, how many players do the special teams guys get? And if the core guys are not doing their job, there's a problem. And that's evidently what's going on right now.
3 different special teams coordinators, 3 different offensive coordinators, 3 different defensive coordinators, a host of different positional coaches.
No, wait a minute. What are you trying to do here? What are you trying to do? You trying to say because of the coaching, because of is it turnover? Jason Garrett's been here for 10 years now.
Right.
Let's go. Let's find a way. Right. I'm not asking him to go beat Bill Belichick one-on-one.
Right.
But I'm not asking him to lose the game because of special teams or they couldn't make enough plays in the game with their offense. The Patriots were handicapped in this game. They really were. But they were really good on defense and they were really good on special teams. They won 2 of the 3.
Mike Ducey from Fox 4 also tweets Jerry on the Patriots today, quote, they were masterful. Their coach was masterful. Called it a significant setback for his team. Says he's surprised the Cowboys didn't score a touchdown even in this weather. Also, Dave Hellman from DallasCowboys.com tweets, Jerry Jones isn't going to talk about changes or throw specific people under the bus in a media setting. To think he would is asinine. That said, this is probably the most angry or openly frustrated I've ever seen him after a game.
Yeah, he's going to fly home on his plane. Steve and the family probably with him. They'll sit down, they'll loosen their ties, and they're going to talk about what happened. And then tomorrow when they get to the office, Jason Garrett, the staff, is going to sit down, Will McClay, and they're going to have a personnel meeting. And these coaches are going to need to come up with some answers. Jerry is an outstanding listener, and he will listen. I'll be very interested. I hope our guys, when they have the opportunity to talk to him this week, hey, what do you see with your eyes? I don't want to hear what Jason Garrett and Keith O'Quinn and Kellen Moore are telling you. I want to know what you see with your own eyes. That I think would be really important.
We'll hear from Brad Sham coming up next. Dallas Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
Man, y'all let me know when Brad, the money man, Sham come on, because This should be like an argument match. I don't know, man. This is too good for radio right now. Brian Broaddus telling everybody how he feels, and with no PC talk, he's letting everybody know how this thing should unfold and unravel. I love what I'm hearing. Shout out to those that's on my Facebook panel: Andrea, David, Nixon, Ronald. Really appreciate you, Rodriguez, man, Jonathan. Really appreciate you all that's on the Facebook panel. Please share on the Facebook. Shout out to those that's in here live, like 95, Donovan. Shout out to all of the elite people, too, that making the joining the nation, helping this thing grow. And we got this movement going on. I really appreciate you all for all of the hidden behind-the-scenes stuff with the elite packages, man. I really appreciate you all that's there. Milky Fem says, we are just trash. Here's the thing. When we look at this game, I've been saying on my pregame talk is that we should be able to be prepared. Success is only preparation when it meets the opportunity. The New England Patriots, they were prepared. They got the block kick. They had the short field. They got the turnovers as it relates to the interception. The quarterback had his gloves on the entire time. He's seasonal enough to know that he can't play with a naked hand out there. He got the one glove on, and like the Thriller, like Michael Jackson with the one glove, it wasn't too small, wasn't too big. They figure out ways to win. And in football, as much as everybody like to hate it, but it comes down to one or two plays. Literally, one or two plays. Get rid of Witten. This is from Mickey Flowers. Really appreciate you. Making the ball bomb, yeah, is an example. Yeah, he's dropping the balls and things like that. We gotta be prepared. I mean, we can talk about execution all day. Yes, if the players execute, we will win. But if I draw up the 3-point for Shaquille O'Neal to shoot the 3, and he keep on consecutively or consistently missing the 3, at some point we got to look at the coaching and say, hey, come on, man, can you stop Shaq from shooting these 3s? We shooting ourselves in the foot. We got to figure out ways to win. Network. We got to figure out ways and opportunities to take advantages of these situations. If not, we're going to continue to have these type of losses. Now, the reality of it is what Brian Broaddus just said. He was talking about the fact that, hey, the Eagles are really laying an egg, and we're not capitalizing of extending our lead with the Eagles. Because I'm thinking, if I'm looking at this particular last 5 games, the Eagles got an easier slide. Let me know who the 5 games that the Eagles got left to play on the docket. You know, and yeah, the excuses business got to be over. Cobb no slow. No. Rudy said Cobb is not slow. Yeah. Cobb not slow. But he's not Tyreek Hill fast. Performance. Even if that was Lucky Whitehead, believe it or not, that would have been a touchdown. But Cobb is not slow. Don't get it twisted, Cowboy Nation. Cobb is fast, but we can't rely on that to be the touchdown to change the game. We have to play better before that point. Throwing left. Yes, indeed. So, and the officials, we knew that the officials was lock-loaded. They had the team huddle and said, okay, we're going to win this game. Come on, officials. They had their hands too much in this game. Real talk. You know, I can't be all the way mad at the Dallas Cowboys. We got to put some blame towards the officials. Different. Because the difference in this game, of course, a block kick or what a block punt kick. But those tripping calls, come on, man. I said it live on my stream. I was sitting there like looking at it like, come on. We can barely celebrate when we do get big plays because we're looking back and seeing whether or not there's turf on the field.
Team 9 fall to 6-5. Brad Sham will join us in a moment. Trying to find tickets to football games or any of their live event can be complicated. There's hundreds.
Well, if you're trying to find tickets to the game, hit up Cowboys Experience. They got some wonderful ticket prices. All you got to do is go to www.cowboysexperience.com. Hit up them. You can find some tickets that way. Or hit up their Facebook page, Cowboys Experience. Or hashtag CowboysXP. Let's go.
Cowboys lose 13-9. And Brad, certainly during the broadcast, we heard your how upset you both were with those tripping penalties. How much do you think that played a role in the outcome of this football game?
Well, huge. And pardon me if you're having trouble hearing me, Ari. This is all I've got left. Huge. I mean, the first one took away a first down and a lot of momentum. And who knows, they might have scored. They might not have, but they might have. It sure looked like they were on their way. The second one, I think it was all set up. They were making strides. They were making progress. They were moving the ball downfield with great confidence. And the thing that's so upsetting is that looking at a replay, I just didn't see anything that looked like tripping remotely on Frederick or anybody around him.
Right.
And so, I think that somebody, Todd Archer, I think, tweeted out that there have been 7 tripping calls in the league for the whole
I truly feel
year.
like Garrett should be gone. UKNWY. It is all indeed Garrett's fault for not challenging the bull jive. Always express him. Hashtag DCL.
That is most egregious. Doesn't mean they're going to necessarily win,
Really
but
appreciate you for the
you
donation.
take the opportunity to decide the game out of the hands of the players, and that's just a shame.
Brad, when you're watching the game unfold, though, and we've seen such great things from Dak Prescott all year long. Defensively, teams have tried to do things to him, and he's made plays. What did you feel like that the Patriots were able to do to him today? Again, I know you're watching from the press box, probably going to catch the film on the way home, but what did you just see from the eyeball test from your seat there in the box?
Well, the one thing, and I think we talked about it, Brian, on the pregame, is the way they plaster it just seems different than any other team. And
Absolutely,
I thought on the
yeah.
interception, the one turnover in the game, and the Patriots have not had a game this year, including today, where they haven't had at least one takeaway. And so that one was, I thought it was a bad throw and one that he tried to force a little bit. And he didn't make many mistakes, but that was one that really hurt him. And I think the fact that Cooper I don't think he officially had a catch.
Right.
Because they had one taken back by a penalty. But, I thought they covered him really well. So I think the opportunities were far fewer because of the way New England plays. I thought the opportunities that he had were fewer. Now, he began to take advantage of some of them. The long play to Cobb was one great example. I thought he had one to Gallup that on a third down that looked like it was going to, against the blitz, it was going to go a long way, and Gallup seemed to just slow down a tick in getting to the ball, and it went incomplete. So, those are a couple of plays that can turn a game, to turn a stat sheet around, but it can turn an entire game around. I really thought that after the first couple of series, they kind of found a little something in running the ball, but sooner or later, you have to be able to connect on some of those pass plays, and the Patriots don't give you any margin for error. They don't give you any room, and then when you get a penalty, whether it's a good one or a bogus one, then you're behind the chains and you're playing right into their hands. But when you get those phantom calls, like those 2 tripping calls, I just don't. I think that's too much to overcome.
Brian, what did you think of the decision? Brad, what did you think of the decision by Jason Garrett to kick the field goal down by 7 with 6 minutes to go at 4th and 7 from the New England 11?
Yeah, and Ari, that's one that Babe and I did not agree on. Babe wanted to go for 4th and 7, and I did not like that opportunity to make the 7 yards against that defense. I thought kick the field goal, get a stop, and you put yourself in position to come back and a touchdown wins the game, which is exactly what happened. And they moved the ball out to the 42-yard line, except for the tripping call, and so that kind of took it away. But I didn't have any problem with that strategy at all.
Brad, do you feel like that they missed a great opportunity to beat a handicapped New England Patriot team today? When you saw the inactives and the weather conditions and all that, I was standing the defense and all that for the Patriots, but did you feel like that this would probably be the best chance that they have to beat this team today?
Yes, but I think that, they've already let a couple of those opportunities go by when they played Green Bay without Devontae Adams and couldn't tackle anybody.
Absolutely.
That was a missed opportunity. And there were a couple of things in the Minnesota game that were missed opportunities. And so the short answer to your question about today is yes, but first of all, seeing what we've seen elsewhere in the league and knowing what we know about this team, I mean, does it surprise you that Brady figured out a way to get a touchdown to N'Keal Harry? And you've got Edelman, and you know what he can do. He's going to throw the ball to those backs. I mean, you'd rather play him without Dorsett and Sanu, but that guy has got a way to figure out how to get somebody open. So, I mean, yes, I think they did miss an opportunity, but you have to play in this stadium. You have to play perfectly to beat that team because it will not beat itself. They did a couple of things that I thought opened doors for you. They missed a field goal. They had a penalty that followed Cobb's play, and when the door gets open just a crack like that, you've got to go through it, and they weren't able to do that.
Brad, have safe travels. Feel better.
Thank you.
Get your voice some rest. We'll talk to you on Thursday.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay, boys. Thanks.
Brad Sham had the call. Cowboys lose 13-9. They fall to 6-5. So let me ask you this, Brian.
So that's what they are.
They're 6-5 football team.
They're 6-5 football team.
They have one of the best offenses in the National Football League.
That's what they are.
They're 6-5.
Guys like me overrate their defense, coming out and in 11 games. Bill Parcells used to say this: you are what your record says you are. You are what your record says you are, and when you get to Thanksgiving, you kind of have an idea where you sit. And like Brad said and Jerry said, he even brought up the Jets game. You've lost some games you probably shouldn't have lost, and you haven't really had a big signature win. Yeah, the Philadelphia game. You talk about that. I mean, I keep saying this. Philadelphia's trying to give you this division. Maybe you'll take it. Maybe you will.
That was going to be my question to you is, so this team's 6-5. They still have everything in front of them. They can still win this division.
They sure do.
Does this loss, does the Green Bay loss, the Vikings loss, do those losses tell us the ceiling on this football team for this season?
Yeah, to me, I thought that there was some signs today where if it got tough and nasty.
True, Vikings without a Adam Thielen. King, you're right. King Dallas.
Jeff Heath played a tremendous game.
Yes.
I thought Jalen Smith, for as much problems as he's had during the year, up and down, had some really nice plays this game. I think you can count on Jordan Lewis to make some plays in this football game. But the players that you needed, those guys you just needed you needed Dak Prescott to outduel Tom Brady today. And if he just made a few more throws, and he even talked about it, some of the throws he missed, but they had an opportunity. That's what's disappointing to me. That I was thinking they're going to win a game you probably don't think. You think, okay, wait, they're going to go to Foxborough and beat Tom Brady with it 38 degrees and raining. That doesn't seem but they had a chance today and they just didn't get it done. And I think that's what makes me apprehensive about this team for the rest of the year. Can they do enough to close out these games? And they haven't been able to do that to any consistency against teams that will be in the tournament like I talked about earlier.
Cowboys can certainly still win this division, but certainly not much optimism beyond that for this team and their ceiling this season. Brian Broaddus, Ari Temkin. This is the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network. We'll hear what Jason Witten, Sean Lee, DeMarcus Lawrence, Jeff Heath all had to say after this game. Plus, Jerry Jones asked point blank, did Bill Belichick outcoach Jason Garrett and the Dallas Cowboys? We'll tell you what he said.
Oh, man, I can't wait to hear how Jerry Jones is going to circumvent that. Really appreciate you all. Here's the thing, what I took away from what they were talking about, especially as it relates to and shout out to Jason Garrett that's in his chat box, man. Hey, the king trollist of it all. But shout out to Jordan Reed, man, as well for putting down the information. They had the first before the fourth down. They had the first before the first fourth down, something like that. Just elaborate a little bit more, Jordan Reed, man. I really appreciate you for making the donation to help grow this thing. And shout out to Jason Garrett, man, that's in this chat, man. Always putting down some information. Refs aren't to blame. That's why the rules was changed. Shout out to you, man, for making the other observation for this thing. At this time, I think that Jarwin's time to shine and Witten time to sit back. I agree. I think that you are 100% right on that. I think that we need to figure out ways so that we can get things going in the right and proper directions as it relates to this team efficiencies, as it relates to everything from A to Z, especially what he's talking about. We need who we got? Shout out to the Hurricane. Yeah, Jackson Williams, the Hurricane did a major thing out there today. It was a major ruling of this game. We have to figure out ways to outcome or outcoach the opposition, but we have a coach that refuses to outcoaches anybody. It's always everybody doing the wrong thing opposed to us coaching the right thing. Do we have any evidence and any faith in that? Brad Sham just said it. He just said it against the Packers. They was missing an Adam Thielen. You see, not Adam Thielen. The other guy. The Vikings were missing Adam Thielen, and we didn't take advantages of those situations. The Packers were missing. Who was they missing? Put the guy's name down in there. I forgot his name just that quick, but I think it's Adams or something like that. They were missing an Adams. We didn't take advantage of that. Matter of fact, Aaron Rodgers didn't even need him. He had the guy Aaron Jones running like he was Emmitt Smith mixed with Barry Sanders. I don't think that those guys ever had a game like he had. Jason Garrett said he would go 5 more years with the extension. Low-key, Cowboy Nation, he got the best name out here. Jason Garrett is in the chat box, man, because he's trolling really good. He's a good troller. He's got this good thing going on. Or if you Jason Garrett for real, you got to get this thing right, Jason.
Either side,
you got to get it right. Y'all let me know when the 105.3 The Fan is back live. Y'all let me know. My thing is, when we play against the Bills, we have to understand and know this right quick, that the Bills, they play a strong, good defense. They got a nice front four. They got a very aggressive running approach. They got a quarterback. If we saw that we had issues with Driscoll, they got a quarterback that wears number 17 on his back. They can run the ball a little bit better, physical, stronger, got a great arm on them. So we may be thinking about turkeys and stuff like that, but we got to be mindful. We got to be mindful of the running quarterback that's going to get us on the run. So we will see. We shall soon see. We need a puppet as a head coach. This is from Derek Williams. I feel you. Jonathan, really appreciate you. Isaac Rays, what's good, man? The worst decision was not to go for it on 4th down on the 12th or the 11-yard line. Let me let the AI speak. I'm speaking to AI.
The worst decision was not to go for it on 4th down on the 12 or the 11-yard line.
Whether you're into... Yes, indeed. I mean, you said the truth, Isaac. Here's another thing, Cowboy Nation. We have to talk about this. The Saints game. I think that with a better situation, we win that game. If we were more prepared for that moment, Jason Witten playing basketball with the football. Emmitt Smith, Ezekiel Elliott with the elbow down and the officials playing their role in the game. Not saying that Ezekiel Elliott was the reason why we lost that game, but we can look at it like this. We kept on trying to run the rock, and we couldn't move that offense. The offensive line couldn't create space, couldn't move anything. We lost that game by 2 points. We looked at it. We was mad about it. We was upset. We said, you know what? This team is going to build behind that game. And then what's happened? We lost to the Jets or what have you. We lost to the Packers. So I'm not comfortable with losing. Let me know if you all are feeling comfortable with losing. And did Jason Garrett not look up the weather report? Jordan, yeah.
We've got a game here in 4 days, so.
Yeah. We just need to change, baby. Change, we can believe it. I think that my guy Voch Lombardi brought in the phrase or the saying that Law Nation is burning down the house. Well, hell, if we burn down this house, we better collect some good insurance and be able to capitalize with putting in some right people in places so that this team can win. We got all of the necessary tools. We do.
The Patriots 13-9. Cowboys now 6-5. They're 3-3 away from home. New England is now 10-1, 5-0 at home. They've won 20 straight overall at home. Cowboys will play Thursday on Thanksgiving against the Buffalo Bills, and then the following Thursday on Thursday Night Football against the Chicago Bears. Let's talk about this loss with Mickey Spagnola, DallasCowboys.com. And Mickey, there's a lot to pick through here. A slow start again for the Cowboys. Certainly some coaching miscues on special teams, decision-making down the stretch. Where do you start in trying to parse out this loss for the Cowboys?
Well, I think if you look at which team made the most mistakes, and I include a block punt as a turnover. So the Cowboys had 2 turnovers, and New England didn't have any. Those 2 turnovers led directly to 10 points. And would they lose by 4? So once again, as Dak Prescott said, we made more mistakes than they did, and they made more plays than we did. But you can't go on the road and play a team like this and get a punt blocked and then get a pass intercepted to set up basically an easy one of them was the easy touchdown. So 1 touchdown scored in the game, 2 mistakes, and you end up on the short end of a 13-9 decision in weather that was just absolutely miserable the entire 4 quarters, and really hampered, I think, both offenses.
Come on,
Yeah,
Brian
Mickey,
Broaddus.
and we haven't talked enough about the game that
Come on,
Ezekiel
Brian.
Elliott played, and I just wanted to know from your seat there in the press box, it looked like to me he had the bit between his teeth, and if they were going to win this football game, he was going to settle up and do what he had to do. Talk about what you saw from the effort that he had tonight running that football.
Yeah, he was awfully good, and that's why, everybody wants to get pass happy. I just thought when they got down there close to the end zone that last time, that it's second and down or third down, I was thinking, well, run it twice.
Right.
Don't throw the ball, run it.
Right.
Because he's going to get 2 or 3 yards, and if he got 2 or 3 yards, and that was going to make it a more manageable 4th down, and I think you would have felt better about going for it on 4th down if you only had to pick up another 3 yards. But when you throw it twice, and frankly, I didn't like the cute play on the first play down there.
Let me bring Jason Garrett into the house, man.
And I know
Shout out
you
to you,
get
Jason
close
Garrett.
and you saved up a special play, but it failed.
Yeah,
And
the
then
fake,
now
the reverse. Yeah,
the fake reverse.
Yeah, right.
And it's like just hand it to him.
Right.
He was running hard, and at times they were having trouble stopping him. And they were having so much trouble stopping him
coaching.
that at starting on like first downs and maybe second downs, they were actually playing 3 defensive linemen instead of just 2.
Right.
From what I could tell. And they were like, okay, we can't do this any longer. We got to stop the run. So, yeah, that's if I was a second guess, that's where my second guess is there. If you wanted to go for it on 4th down, then you should have run the ball twice. And as it turned out, and I know Troy was critical of the decision not to go for the touchdown,
right.
But what you ended up doing, kicking the field goal, is you gave yourself a chance to win. And here you come, and you get the ball back, and now you got a chance to win the ball game with a touchdown instead of tying going into overtime in that mess. So, whatever works is right. And then the other thing that I thought, was huge, 2 tripping calls in the same game. Are you serious? I think ESPN, I think somebody said somebody had a stat where there only had been 7 tripping calls
Right, 7.
in the entire season. And the same guy called it twice. That was the weirdest thing I think I've seen, especially in a game like this where everybody's flipping and flashing around. How do you identify what a trip is or why a guy fell down? So that didn't help either.
Yeah,
Mickey, we're going to sit here and point the finger at the special teams and really a factor that they had in the game. It felt like, defensively you played well enough, offensively you didn't, but do you feel like that the special teams today overall was really contributed the most to the downfall of this football team in the loss?
Yeah, and the difference was, you made a mistake. You let a guy come in, and he's their best special teams guy.
Absolutely.
And let him come in and get a one-handed block on a punt.
Right.
Can't let that happen. And then the other stuff was, okay, they made a play, they got you, but nothing else happened in the game to help you on special teams. They got a little bit of help, and like on that last kickoff, that they purposely when they had to kick off to start the second half,
right?
They chose to have the wind at their back in the 4th quarter. So you knew after that field goal that New England's going to kick into the wind.
Right.
So why stand on the goal line? You should be standing at the 10 or 15 20-yard line, right?
Exactly.
And if it goes over your head, fine, let it roll in the end zone.
Objectivity.
But don't let them pop it up short. And then you got to come running up, and neither one of them could decide which one was going to catch it.
Yeah.
And then you're having to start that possession at the 8-yard line or whatever.
8-yard line, absolutely right. Yeah.
And so just too many mistakes like that, and we've seen it now for a couple. You asked me that question. I think was it the pregame show or yesterday?
I asked you on Friday about the kickoff team, kickoff coverage. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like it's got to be better. And when you look out there and what's out there, and you just have a bunch of young guys out there making young mistakes that you just can't make. And if that's the case, then you just got to put some veterans out there to help out.
Mickey Spagnola, DallasCowboys.com. Safe travels, Mickey. We'll talk to you on Thursday.
I'm going to try to stay dry.
Please do.
Stay dry. Mickey
Stay dry,
Spagnola,
Mickey.
DallasCowboys.com. 877-881-1053. You can call or text that number. 877-881-1053. Brian Broaddus, Ari Temkin with you.
Who we got next?
Jerry Jones was asked point blank, did the Cowboys get out coached? According to Saad Youssef of The Athletic, he tweets, the quote was, "I really think it speaks for itself. I think we just look at what happened on special teams and how I think you're going to get out coached during this era when you come to New England. I do. I think you are. It's just what you're dealing with. My point is, don't get yourself in a spot where you have to come up here and beat him and beat them on a day like today. Don't get in a spot with that determining what you want to be about." End quote from Jerry Jones.
Talking about those losses that he's had.
Circle
the Jets loss. There's some games that they went up there, and flat just gave away. I mean, that Jets game is going to haunt him. And when you look at it at the end of the day, and we all talk about, is this must win? To me, Ari, guys, must win is every win because every week, because of 16 games, you only get 16 of them. They're going to add them up at the end of the day, and they're going to say you're one of the good or one of the bad. And he realizes what's going on. I missed opportunity in New Orleans, Green Bay without Devontae Adams. The Minnesota game.
Yeah, you're deep in their own territory.
Minnesota, you're down inside their 10-yard line twice, and you kick a field goal. You can't have these things happen and expect to be the type of team that Jerry Jones has built here.
Yeah, Jerry, another quote from John Machota tweets, "This is very frustrating. It's frustrating just to be reminded that some of the fundamentals of football and coaching were what beat us out there today."
Absolutely right. See, that's what I want to know from Jerry. I don't want to hear what these coordinators are saying or what Jason Garrett's saying. I want to hear what Jerry Jones sees with his own eyes. Because those guys are going to tell him, well, Jerry, we did this, and Jerry, we did. And he's a great listener. That's one of his best traits. The guy's got a big heart. He's a big listener too. But I want to hear what he thinks about his football team. And I think if you could get him, on the radio this week, I think he'll tell you about his football team.
How much do you put this loss in particular on coaching?
Oh yeah, it's part of it. It's absolutely. Mickey just made a great point about they've been pooching the ball all day into the wind. Move up, catch the ball, take advantage of field position. If you're Pollard, you catch the ball on the 15-yard line, and all of a sudden you run it for another 18 yards or so. That's better field position. You're not instead of being on the 36 or 37, you're on your own 8-yard line because you didn't communicate. Somebody's got to talk to him about, hey, this is what we got to do. Move up. And the Dallas has got 3 special teams coaches on the field. They've got guys that are responsible for that stuff. They need to do a better job of that. Coaching plays a big part of this.
Troy Aikman, former Cowboys quarterback, during the broadcast on Fox, was talking about the special teams and the coaching. Here's what he had to say about the Dallas Cowboys coaching staff during the broadcast.
Troy.
With the Patriots kicking into the wind, the ball doesn't travel to the goal line. They're fortunate to have the ball, number one. Number two, that's poor coaching. That's coaching. Nobody's telling Tony Pollard, get up. Every kick into the wind has been short. Well, they dodge a bullet there. Right now you look at it, Joe, 9.5 minutes to play. And the Cowboys, you have to believe you have 2 possessions. And that's all you're going to get.
I can't let that thing play all the way because the NFL will pull it. But doggone Troy Aikman, boy. He's telling the truth.
Talking about Jason Garrett, he's talking about Keith O'Quinn.
Who is the head coach of this football team?
Jason Garrett.
Troy Aikman said coach. I don't have to hear no more.
And like we talked about in the pregame,
I don't have to hear no more.
Bill Belichick is going to manage this game.
There you go.
You saw the last play of the game with Brady trying to throw the ball out of bounds to kill time. That's something he learned from Bill Parcells. I've seen this before. It's unfortunately a military gentleman. It looked like a Marine was trying to make the catch and maybe gave the Cowboys an extra second there. But yeah, it's to me, you as a head coach, you're responsible for managing the game. And this is where you could talk. One of the things I love about Jason Garrett, I think he's a very good evaluator of talent. I think he's really good in January through April. I think he's good at doing that stuff. The game management stuff, managing the sidelines, managing his team, I think that's where he really, really struggled.
Right. And especially if you're a head coach of a football team, and Keith O'Quinn has been struggling as the special teams coordinator for such a long period of time. They have one of the worst special teams units in the NFL last year, Keith O'Quinn's first year. At some point, if you're Jason Garrett, you're the coach, you have to take over that, right? Like you have to manage that.
You have to
closer.
You have to. He talks about, well, maybe because Kellen Moore's a young coach, I have to hang out in the office. Maybe you need to hang out in special teams and see what's going on over there.
That's what great coaches and managers do. They understand the areas where they have to compensate more in management.
Yeah, okay. And I'm bragging about Jason Garrett as far as, but maybe the evaluation of the guys on special teams is not right too.
Brian Broaddus, Ari Temkin, Dallas Cowboys football will continue in a moment.
Man, that's some good stuff. Y'all let me know when they back live. Here's the thing, what I took away from everything. Brian Broaddus is holding back no punches. Here's the thing, too. When we talking about evaluating coaches, remember, the coach's position or the coach's responsibility will always be, let me land and fall on the sword. This team only goes as far as I go, and I need to set the tone. I need to let everybody know that this is my team, not Keith O'Quinn's team, not Kellen Moore's team, not Papa Rob Marinelli's team or Christopher Richard's team. This is my team. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, DC fan 99, not 100, but not 1,000,099. That means you got 99 problems. But being a Cowboy fan ain't one, right? DC fan, really appreciate you, man. Oh, man. We still learning. Basically. Yeah, let the AI speak.
Howdy, law raising hands. Please say today we're gonna take a look at DC Fan 99 like it's a quick film. Session sad but relieved face.
Yes, indeed, man. Yeah. We're going to look at DC Fan 99 like it's a quick film session. Really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the donation to help grow the nation. And Anthony Get It Down Brown, thank you for joining. Got the monster jumping out at me, man. Really appreciate you for joining the Silver Elite. And, guys, hit that join button, man. Let's continue to grind. Let's grow this thing. Dak is not running due to his contract. This is Elijah. I read your comment earlier saying that this loss hurts. It does. And I said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Before this team can really move forward with this quarterback, they have to have trust. They have to pour upon the knowledge of this team of saying to themselves, the quarterback is the leader of this team. Let him stop worrying about money. Let him focus on this game. But when they fiddle-faddle around and say, we're going to wait and squeeze it out. Remember, Jerry Jones' son, Stephen Jones, was saying, we're going to wait till the start of the season. Let Dak Prescott go through the training camp, not worried about his money. We're going to pay him. Then the start of the season happened. Oh, let's not worry about this or that. We're going to wait till the bye week. We're going to pay Dak Prescott now. And then on top of that, when I turn on the TV, I look at a Carson Wentz and I look at a Jared Goff, and I'm looking at them boys getting paid millions of dollars. Think about this. Dak Prescott is only getting paid $680,000. $80,000 less than Rico Gathers. And they cut Rico Gathers, and he couldn't even play for the Cleveland Browns. If you let that sink into your mind. So here you go with all of these things, man. Welcome to the Platinum Elite. Boy, woo, platinum this thing around. Boy, we got people all around the world. Always a lady. Really appreciate you. So now whenever you make comments, you get those special emojis and these things. And they are in process of being curated right now with my team. So we're going to have those Cowboy stars when you guys talk. But let's listen back into 105.3 The Fan. Man, really appreciate you for having your trust and your hopes and Law Nation. Let's continue to grind too. Let me find 105.3 The Fan a deal and turn them up and see what they talking about now.
Greg is backing out of the driving.
Oh, they still on commercial break, so you guys can hear me talk and yap a little bit longer. Jonathan, Floyd, Dave, really appreciate you. Brian Broaddus is such a coach of the Dallas Cowboys next season. He should coach for us. I don't think that Brian Broaddus should be a coach, but I think that what Brian Broaddus is telling everybody is saying to himself and to everybody that's listening to the nation is he's not holding back no punches. It's no PC Brian Broaddus is right now. It's a straight real deal Holyfield, and we got this thing going as it relates to what the coaching staff need to do, because if we look at everything, this team have no dealings of being close to 500. No dealings of being close to that 500. If I can be real with you all.
Toss those dice.
Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let me see, read some of your comments. Jerry ain't the damn. Kyle says Jerry is no damn frustrated. I made the reason why Jerry Jones is not frustrated on my pre-post game show after the game, and Troy Aikman said it's the coaching. If anybody says it's not coaching, just think about it. I want to school people so much about it, but I want to keep it professional. Troy Aikman ultimately got 3 Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys. He's been inside the locker room, outside of the locker room, all the way inside the tunnel, knowing the essence of the sweat on the field. And he was talking about even when Barry Switzer was out there, we are not prepared to win games. We got to win games in spite of what? The coaching. And that's what he was able to do, rally the troops around. You can talk about Troy Aikman, arm, accuracy. You can talk about his temperaments out there on the field. But damn it, I guarantee anybody that's around here, you cannot talk about his leadership skills and qualities. If you're saying that he don't have leadership skills, you have not been watching football long enough. If I'm trusting the last person to hold that Lombardi trophy with the Dallas Cowboys been Troy Aikman, for sure talent of wisdom, of understanding, of being a leader of man. Not what Barry Switzer did, not what Jerry Jones was saying and trying to motivate and trying to put butts in seats. It had to all come from Troy Aikman. So if Troy Aikman saying that right now that these losses are centered around or close to near coaching, we at some point got to realize the reality of it. If we continue to lie to kick it, then I don't know who we are as fans. We can look at this thing. Trust me, I know for sure. I love Jason Garrett, the person, but I dislike Jason Garrett, the coach. That's just the reality of it. Let's listen to 105.3 The Fan before I get too mad.
We saw what can happen. Now they miss a few.
But you look at the special teams miscues and then the lack of aggression by Jason Garrett in this game. Didn't go for it on 4th and 7 from the New England 11.
I just didn't think like he was going to get down there again, Ari. And everybody, Brad's talking about it, Mickey, everybody's kind of chiming in, and I get it, but I just didn't feel like that you were going to get the ball back and be able to drive. I didn't. Especially.
Is there something to be said too about inspiring confidence in your offense? It's the leader of your football team. It's taking you.
Yeah, Dak Prescott's your best damn player. He's your best player.
Get him, Brian.
You're basically, but how about some confidence that he's going to go make a play for you? I would rather die trying to make it happen than say, oh, wait a minute, I'm gonna give the ball back to Tom Brady and hope I can get a 3 and out.
Right.
And people will say, well, broad as hey, they got some 3 and outs in this game. Brady wasn't sharp, but you know what?
It's still Tom Brady.
It's still Tom Brady, and all of a sudden you're thinking, okay, maybe I get the ball back and I'm going to drive it on this team. I didn't feel like they were going to get down there again.
Right.
And they didn't.
Right.
They didn't get down there again.
And there were calls earlier in the game. He kicked 2 field goals from 46, one that he missed into the wind on 4th and 6.
Hit the upright. Right.
But it's 4th and 6 in position where you could go for it. And then 4th and 3. Now, he did hit the field goal the next time.
Yeah.
But 2 opportunities, again, early in this football game to instill some confidence in your offense, and you don't take shots there either.
I just feel like in this game, in this particular, you're not playing the Giants or the Eagles or the Redskins. You're playing the New England Patriots.
What'd you say before the game? You're going to have to do something.
You're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to find a way to be different in this football game.
877-881-1053. 877-881-1053. Sean from Carrollton.
Before Sean talk, here's the thing that I got to say, and I can't leave it all to the blaming of the offensive personnel. Did we jump out our seat when we saw that toss sweep? Didn't we really say, man, they put Ezekiel Elliott in a toss sweep? I almost lost my mind when they did that. And my only thing was, I was like, maybe that's going to be in a rotation of the plays. They only did it about, once or twice? And didn't we see with our natural eyes that they did the screen passes? Now, I know that a lot of people play Madden all day. I know a lot of people play Madden, but we've been streaming for this. We've been yelling at our lungs, turning blue in the face. And if you're as black as I am, turning blue in the face is something special. And this is the thing, Cowboy Nation. We've been saying this, and we were looking at it like, come on, let's see some of this creativity. We saw it in the first quarter, and it disappeared. Like, I would have loved for us to do a toss sweep, toss handoff, anything to Ezekiel Elliott on 31. Don't you guys know, as big as Ezekiel Elliott's head is, if he can just lean forward, he's going to get the first down. Shout out to Ezekiel Elliott, man. With the big head and neck, man, he can just lean forward and get the first. But we line up in shotgun. And, of course, we can talk about the tripping situation, but sometimes the officials looking at it like, if this coaching staff so silly, they're going to start in shotgun on a 3rd and 1. Now you got to get 6 You got to get 6 yards to get 1. When you right there, all you had to do is lean forward. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You know, I don't agree. I'm trying to figure out why no fast starts, and I'm thinking, execution, because they don't do what they're supposed. I mean, there's times when Dak Prescott third down throws the ball over Cobb's head, realizes, whoa, maybe I need gloves. You know, well, he didn't execute the play that was called. It was a good call. It got Cobb in space. He threw the ball. That's just one play. I know people are out there going, Broadus piling on Dak. No, he's your best player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he better take the good with the bad here.
Get him.
But if you want to blame the coaching for not coaching those guys to put them in position to make plays, to execute, I'll agree with you all day, Sean. But I don't think execution is coaching.
Tracy tweets at Brian Broadus at RE Sports. Y'all said the Cowboys were just a 6-5 team and quoted Bill Parcells. Your record says what you are.
Yeah.
So her question is, why are they 6-5? Coaching or a lack of talent?
I think that, to me, when you look at this team, this team, the lack, I'll admit that I probably overrated some positions. You know, when I was on 105.3 training camp going into the season, watch Malik Collins, watch Jalen Smith,
linebackers,
watch Leighton Vander Esch, watch Awuzie make plays.
Malik played pretty good, though.
Watch all those things. If you want to blame me for coming on and saying that this team is talented, which I think it is, I think they do have talent. But, you know, to me, I'll agree about the execution part, and I think there's just some things that they just fundamentally don't do right. You know?
From a coaching standpoint.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not going for it on 4th and 7, but it's 3rd and 1 and you throw a pass. You know? Run the ball, get the first down, and keep moving. Fundamentally, that is a stupid thing to do.
Brian Brothers, listen to me, baby.
That's a problem to me.
And, of course, the 3rd and 1 pass happened, and then tripping
yes.
is the call.
Yes, absolutely. You put Travis Frederick in a position to trip.
Or not trip.
Or
get called for a trip.
Yeah, exactly.
877-881-1053. 877-881-1053. Christy from Dallas.
Christy.
Go ahead, Christy. You're on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Hey guys, thanks for taking the call. And one thing and I love Broadus. I'm gonna slightly disagree with you on a point you made earlier.
Please do,
Broadus. And
please
that
do.
is
I love it.
that you don't go for the obvious low hanging fruit. Well, this low hanging fruit is ripe to be picked.
Ma'am, I've been trying to get rid of this guy for 3 years. So
what happens here, guys? From what I see, and I'm a lay person. I'm a fan.
Okay.
I'm not a football expert at all, but I know what I see.
Okay.
And when you have to get something extra from your coaching staff.
Absolutely.
Your coaching staff should be able to move the needle for you a couple of points.
Keep preaching.
What we don't get
Christy.
is we don't have a staff that's capable on an off night of giving us an advantage. There's no advantage to our coaching staff.
There you go.
Wow.
And the players have to execute. That is their job. The coaches need to coach. The players have to execute. But on a down night in bad weather, they ought to be able to come up with something. And my problem is game after game, they don't. And now we've gotten to the point where the players make excuses for the coaches make excuses for the players.
Yes.
And Garrett is just on the sideline clapping and being a cheerleader. He reminds me of a parent that wants to be their child's best friend. Parent. You're not the friend. You're the parent. So coach, do what you have to do. Get in somebody's chest. Do whatever it takes. Get in your coach's chest.
Christy.
Do whatever it takes. But stop clapping, because there's really not a lot to clap about.
Sure.
877-881-1053. Christy.
That's some of football right there. She sold herself short. She knows what's going on.
Coaching has to give you something extra.
She don't even know
We talked
football.
about that in the you've got to be, and even in the post a little bit, you have got to do something. When things are equal, you've got to find a way as a coach to be the difference maker when all things are equal. And Jerry Jones told you, that guy on the sidelines, he's got all those rings. It looks like he's mad all the time. He's going to be the difference in a football game.
Boy, Christy dropped the dime on everybody. And I want it, since Brian Brothers is letting everybody know that Jerry Jones listen. He's a great listener. I want people to understand this right now. we need to reach out to DallasCowboys.com because he don't have a Facebook page or a Twitter link, Jerry Jones. Let me know if he do. Let me know if you can find it. But somebody, Jason Garrett is in the chat box right now. Reach out to Jerry Jones and let him know that there's no salary cap as it relates to coaching. So if he's a good listener and he got a $3.5 billion stadium and then he got a $3.2 billion play plan as it relates to a training camp facility, that's $6 billion rounded up. That's $7 billion with a B. And we got an average coach coaching his team. That doesn't equate right. There's no salary cap as it relates to coaching. Jason Garrett, you're not a horrible, despicable person. You are a wonderful person. Great conversation when I meet you. You are one of the intelligent people that's out here in a game, but you are not a head coach. You are a great motivator to me. And even Christy, she says she don't even know football, but you got to be able to push the needle, thread the needle, elevate people out there on the sideline. Let the opposition know that, hey, when we going against Jason Garrett, we got to bring our A game. We can't bring B+ game. We can't bring no C game. And we're going to get a loss in the categories of win-loss situation if we bring our D game. But we don't have that type of fear. We don't have that type of fear when they see the Dallas Cowboys. They on commercial break. But you guys know how that thing go. We gotta look. The players gotta win in spite of the coaching. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. For the caller Christy, man, for giving that wonderful call in and then correcting Brian Broder, saying, "Hey, I gotta disagree with you," and we thinking that she's gonna go negatively. You know, we think she's gonna go against the opposition, but no, she said, "No, you ain't calling it low hanging fruit. This fruit need to be already purged or picked out." That's what I love, man. And she said she don't even know football like that, but she can see. She can see. Let me just bring Coach back into the box, man. Go ahead and continue to clap, Coach. Yes, that was a great call, man. That was a great call. Smart lady, Mark V. Somebody find that lady that's in the Christy. Find her, man, on Twitter. We got to get her to call into this show as well, man. Dang, she dropped the mic with that. Head Red Born. Really appreciate you for making the donation to help grow the nation, man. Really do appreciate you. Christy put it out there. Yeah, baby. Yeah, Scott Cook, man. Y'all find Christy, man. Y'all find her and let her call into the show. She dropped the mic. She did. Baby, she spoke nothing but the truth. Not partial truth, you know. Hey, half of the truth is considered a whole lie. She told nothing but the truth and then leave no room for anybody to come in and say, well, you know. No, she should have her YouTube page, man. She would have one follower, and that's for me. Clarence, yeah, appreciate you that's on the Facebook panel, man. Floyd Day. Really appreciate you. He said, I saw this Jason Garrett in the note and not in my head. He's not a head coach. I think that Jason Garrett is a wonderful person, believe it or not, Cowboy Nation. Yes, and DJ Outlaws, man. Perez, man. Dog, that's a cool name, man. Cool name, man. Outlaw. Hey. We'll see. Let me know. Her name is Christy Jackson. Okay, dropping the full name. Don't drop her social now or her phone number. But shout out to Christy Jackson, man. Super facts is from Francis, man. Really appreciate you. Garrett would have let Mayhar win the game. This is from Dion Primetime Sanders in the chat. Really appreciate you. Scott Cook says she spoke nothing but the facts, man. I was getting so crunk over here, man. I was about to, man, y'all just don't know, man, how crunk I was when I was hearing her speak. I was about to do this number right here. Yeah. Yeah. I was about to get so crunk with it, baby. Y'all just don't know. Let me see if they back live. They still ain't back live. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. All right, so, hey, it is what it is. Another donation to help grow the nation, man. Really appreciate you, James. Really, really do, man. Well, what website? It's 105.3 The Fan is the website. You can just type in, I believe, radio.com/105 The Fan, and you will hear the station there. Especially if you're like in Mississippi, or if you're in Bagdo, Idaho, or if you're in New York and all those little places, you can listen to 105.3 The Fan on radio.com. Yeah, Elijah, man, I got the mask, man. I can't even show you the mask because, it's one of those things where we lost. We didn't win anything. Shout out to you that's on my, Brian, appreciate you that's on my Facebook panel, man. I really appreciate you. Really appreciate each and every last one of you all. Coaching staff doesn't know how to use their personnel properly. Yeah. Because here's the thing. I used this analogy earlier. We use a machine gun to kill a mouse, right? Overkill. Then when you try to use a toothpick to kill a lion, underkill. We just don't know how to properly use these things. And shout out to Peter, man. I'm not trying to go out here and say we need to kill animals. Law Nation love the animals, you see. I love the animals. I would never kill an animal, But here's the thing. We need to figure out ways to combat against this. Jerry Jones need to understand this right here quick, Jerry Jones. Aaron Rodgers said he's not sleeping tonight. I feel you, though. I'm not sleep tonight either. Thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation Film Session as we take a deeper look at.
Picked up a first down, a 3rd and 1 pass play that was called back for a tripping call on Travis Frederick. You heard Brad Sham with the call right there, said it was the worst call of the year. Here's what Travis Frederick had to say about that call after the game.
Oh, Travis,
I don't know exactly how the calls come out. I don't know how that works, and we're frankly not allowed to talk about the referees and their calls. So it's a call that was made, and you got to try and put yourself in a better situation so that something like that doesn't make a tremendous impact on the game. You got to be able to try and take those type of things out of the game altogether.
What is your understanding of the rule?
I don't understand the rule, evidently. I need to get a clarification on that. When I tried to get a clarification on that, the umpire was nowhere to be found.
Wow. I have no idea. I don't know what a trip is.
Yeah.
Do you know what a trip is?
Well, I know what the intent of a trip is. I was an offensive lineman.
If you get beat.
Yeah, when you get beat and you extend your foot in order to impede the progress of the defender, the rush or the blitz or whatever, then you get called for tripping. And to me, that wasn't, it looked like to me he was trying to adjust to help or to pivot himself.
He squeezed.
And we always talk about, this guy that's a one-legged blocker. You don't want to be a one-legged blocker because you get thrown off,
Right.
To me, if you get beat, if you're an offensive tackle or a defensive lineman and you get beat to the inside or outside and you stick your foot out with the intent of, like I say, of knocking the defender down with your foot, that's tripping. And to me, I didn't see tripping in either. I watch a ton of tape, all right? I mean, I watch tape every single day.
Right.
And I've seen plays where tripping could have been called and they don't call it. And it's a shame. And here you are, you get it called. It's one time, yeah, okay.
Right.
Twice?
Right.
Rare. I mean, it's the officials, yeah, they shouldn't have to make calls like that at certain points in time of the game, though. And then just let them play. Let these guys play. Let the players decide.
And to Travis Frederick's point, they've got to come up with enough plays.
That's an all-pro center that has a question of what tripping really is.
All pro.
877-881-1053. Also want to mention, we've mentioned Jerry Jones's comments. We played some of those comments for you. But certainly the perception of Jerry from the reporters that were in the room was his frustration level was at an all-time high. Clarence Hill tweets, Jerry Jones went scorched earth after the game, said the special teams miscues were about poor coaching. So the Cowboys got out-coached. Said he was disappointed and frustrated. He also Jerry Jones added, quote, with the makeup of this team, I shouldn't be this frustrated, end quote.
True.
Yeah.
So to go back to a question we got on Twitter, team 6-5, is that about a lack of talent, or have we overstated their talent, or is this
I know I have.
not well coached?
I know I have. And then, but again, I've talked about coaching as well.
And look,
you just, and to Christy's point that she made,
Christy was a caller last
Christy
segment.
was a caller. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Christy,
great job, by the way, Christy. Appreciate you listening out there. To me, in these games, you have to, if it's tough and tight, you have to be a difference maker. Mike Zimmer, difference maker for the Vikings the other day in their win, in that game. If you look at Greg Williams, difference maker in his game, bringing Jamal Adams on a blitz to affect Dak Prescott. You've got to be a difference maker to win these games when they're close and they're tight.
And so many of these games are close and tight. I mean, how many games in the NFL?
Garrett, that's what I'm saying. Garrett, that's all he plays in. And you've got to, this game was for the taking today. Hey, yeah, Brian Bross upset that he picked the Cowboys to win. No, I felt like that if things felt right, the Cowboys could go win this football game today. I felt like that Dak Prescott could have an outstanding game and be a difference maker. He didn't play his best today.
He did.
They had some guys not play their best, but yeah, this was a game that was for the taking. And they just didn't. They just did a very good job of taking it.
Trying to find tickets to football games or any other live event can be complicated. There's hundreds of sites and shady.
Trying to find tickets to their football game. Check out Cowboys Experience, man. That's where you get the real deal Holyfield stuff, man. Meet and greet sessions with the players, and also we do have Miller Lite tickets, man. Where you can be down there mixing and mingling with some of the famous Cowboys fans, super fans like Miss Price and beyond. So hit up Cowboys Experience.
Visiting with our own Mike Fisher after this one as the Cowboys lose 13-9 in this football game. Jason Witten had one reception for 5 yards, had a couple of drops. Here was Witten with Mike Fisher.
Come on.
Witt is a guy who prides himself on the intellectual part of football. How frustrating is it that they don't seem to make very many mistakes on defense?
Well, coming into this, there is fundamentally sound defense as I've studied in a long time, and so you knew that coming in. They challenged you in a lot of ways. We felt like we were able to kind of grind out some of those runs, the conditionings. That kind of plays to our strength of what we're trying to do. Ultimately, though, when you play that style with the conditions, it goes both ways. You got to be able to convert on third down, and just couldn't make enough plays, when you're going against a good team. And they were able to I thought our defense kept us in it the whole night. And, it's unfortunate, tough loss against a good team.
Couldn't convert on third down. He mentioned that. Maybe the issue was too many third downs. They were 2 of 13 on third down in this football game. What about Jason Witten, though, Brian? There's a lot of talk about Blake Jarwin getting more snaps.
Sure. Needed him to play. Needed him to make those catches. When he has the opportunity, help your quarterback out. Jason Witten's had a Hall of Fame career. You're talking to a guy right now that was on the staff that brought him here. Couldn't be more proud of a player. The vision that Bill Parcells, the staff, had for him, what Jason Witten has become. Couldn't be more proud. But, this is where the veteran players need to make a play or two. When things aren't working out well. Yeah, those catches might be 5, 6, 7 yards, but they needed those catches, especially when a team is playing as well as they did on third down. Coming in this game, you look at the Patriots.
Isaac, yeah.
I want to say their third down numbers were somewhere right around 19%. On defense, and Dallas was 15%. Doing that. I think I was right. Yeah, 19.3 on third down.
Not that far.
And
apart.
they held Dallas to 15% on third down. So you knew it was going to be. You couldn't afford to have any plays where balls are coming off guys' hands and ending up on the ground, especially a guy that's a Hall of Fame player.
And I think those two numbers. So on the season, New England holding teams to 19% converting on third down.
Yeah, 19.3.
And the Cowboys converted 15%.
Below the average, yeah.
Probably why you might want to go for it on 4th and 7 from New England 11.
I just didn't feel like Dallas was going to drive the ball again.
Right.
I just didn't feel like you made the mention they got the huge play from Cobb. Luckily, McCourty tries to knock the ball loose. That's
not getting another 59-yard pass play.
Yeah, exactly. You're banking on that. Your quarterback really hadn't played great all day. It's just, to me, I would rather go down swinging. And people will say, hey, but they had a chance, Brian.
Shout out to you, Clarence.
Yeah, but they had a chance on their own end of the field. It wasn't like they got a stop and then got the ball at the. Even into the wind. Maybe that played into Garrett's thought, too. If we get a stop, punting into the wind, we'll get the ball, No, you got the ball on your own end of the field. Yeah, you had your timeouts left, but did you feel like that they were going to make a play to, and I guess Cooper almost came up with one.
Garrett seems like the CYA decision maker, right? Cover your own rear end. In that. There are times where you put yourself out there and you take risks that could lose you the football game.
Yeah.
If you don't convert on 4th and 7.
Yeah. Yeah, they've had some problems.
He doesn't want to make those decisions that leave him in position for people to be critical of him.
See, to me, this is where it's okay to be. This is where if Jason Garrett makes that decision on 4th and 7 and they don't, and someone says, well, you should have kicked the field goal. He goes, by the way, when you make that decision, when you ask me that question, I'm going to show you who's on the other side of the field. Who am I coaching against today? You can't play things by the book and expect to. And I always get on him about knowing the pulse of the team, the flow of the game, and all that.
Making decisions based on that.
Making decisions on that. I'm not giving Tom Brady a chance to run the clock out and use all my first. I don't care who he's got on the field. True. Julian Edelman, I don't care. I'm going to take that chance. If you're a media member and you ask Jason Garrett, why did you go for it on 4th down? I'm playing the friggin' Patriots. Okay, that guy over there's won like 1 million Super Bowls. Okay, they've won like 21 straight games here now.
I'm giving my team a chance to win the football game.
I'm giving myself and my team a chance. Yes, that's why I did it. And if you question him, then that's your fault.
Brian Broaddus, Ari Temkin, Dallas Cowboys postgame show. Join the Dallas Cowboys in our fight for good as we help the Salvation Army.
Yeah, help the Salvation Army. The Salvation Army bucket will be out there. Shout out to the Salvation Army. We need to help people out. Homelessness is something that I experienced in my life, and it's something that we have to understand in life. It's not our end results. It's all about how we overcome that. So shout out to the Salvation Army, and shout out to those who support the Red Kettle. I really appreciate each and every last one of you all, but it's all about overcoming your circumstances. I didn't let homelessness let me to stay out there. I had to figure out things. I had to really, really look at life and see how I can overcome that. And I achieved that, you see. So I want everybody to know that what we're experiencing now, this is supposed to be entertainment business. Yes, we're 6-5. Is the earth and the world is folding on us? No. But what we're talking about is the reality of this team. We're 6-5, and somebody can argue that, hey, right now we should be one of those teams that only have 2 losses right now, maybe against the Packers and maybe against this team. But however, we lose games that we're supposed to win. We play down to the level of competition. Look, last week, of course, the Detroit Lions, it was a good game. It gave us all in our feelings. Hey, the Lions were 26 against the rushing, 26 against the run, 28 ranked against the pass. Now, although Dak Prescott showed us what off, but we still had questions in that game that we looked at and say to ourselves, man, if that was a better team, we would have held an L. You see what I'm saying? They had Driscoll going down there looking like Lamar Driscoll, for crying out loud. And I said that. And if you look at the Jets, they actually capitalized. Yes, it was a away game. We can have all of the excuses in the world, but we need to figure out ways to overcome the coaching situation, overcome the official nodders, how they're going to do their deal, and then we got to figure out how to execute. Be prepared. But we're saying to Jerry Jones, the only person that can change all of this for our reality, since Brian Broaddus said that he listens, since Brian Broaddus said that Jerry Jones listens, there's no salary cap as it relates to coaching. This been going on for 10 plus years, that this guy been some shape, form, or fashion along with the Dallas Cowboys organization. And if you got over $7 billion, $7 billion, let's let that sink in, to your facilities collectively. Got all of this, when we go to DallasCowboys.com, got all of these nice cover 4 shows and talking Cowboys. Now, all these other 31 other teams don't have this type of stuff, this type of access. And we get out there and we push this average coach out there to control this team. Reality should not be our reality. Especially, you have diehard Cowboys fans, even in a loss. We got over 400 people watching me, listening into this show, can identify with this team's struggles. And we're sitting around here pointing the fingers at the players. We know the root of the issue. Even Jason Garrett, we pointed the finger at him. And Jerry Jones can sit on his plane, fly back to Dallas, and get off on his plane, take his helicopter, even right now before Thanksgiving, get on his yacht, fly to his yacht, sail around whatever the Caribbean seas, be back in Texas for the Thanksgiving game, and still make millions and millions of dollars that we can't even count, enough money that we can't even count right now. And we still support this team come hell and high water, and we sit back and get to hear this from all of the 4 corners of the universe when we turn on ESPN and turn on NFL Network of how horrible our team is. And knowing that we can change all of this issue just like that by removing one thing, is putting Jason Garrett feet to the fire and holding Jerry Jones accountable. But we as fans, we love this team. We don't like this team at all. We love them. And we won't hold Jerry Jones accountable. we will still be there bright and early for the game, buying merchandise, supporting the team left and right. It's crazy. We demand the best.
It's the easiest way.
They got a commercial break. Y'all let me know. A very below average coach. This is from Joe's. I don't think that he's below average. I think that the Cincinnati Bengals would love to have Jason Garrett. For crying out loud, the New York Jets or the New York Giants would love to have Jason Garrett at this point. But at the same token, Jason Garrett for the Dallas Cowboys when there's zero salary cap as it relates to coaching. Kings, man, really appreciate you for the donation to help grow the nation. Garrett is good. You guys leave him alone. This is from Kings. And that's what I'm saying. He's good. But guess what? I do not accept good. I don't want good. I don't like good. Being good is average. We want greatness. Matter of fact, I'm lying. I want elite stuff around here. We want elite greatness around here. We want that. We don't accept good. Good is what you feeling when you look like you want to have a C or a B to get out of the class. That's good. I don't want good. If you want good right now in the Cowboy Nation, settle for that. But when I go purchase things, I'm looking for elite stuff. When it says elite, I want to see when I sit in my car, I want to be able to have that automatic windows to roll down. I don't want to roll my windows down naturally. Hell, I work hard, so I play hard. We want to enjoy this thing. We support this team. The Giants can accept good. The Eagles cry can accept good. The filthy Redskins can accept good. But greatness. We want great stuff. We don't want good. And Williams, Keeves, I'm not talking about you about the statement of Jason Garrett, but what I'm saying is collectively, we are too great as an organization collectively to accept good. We don't want good. I don't want to see good.
We're not breaking down New England, but what do you think their chances are going forward? I mean, Tom Brady is. If you look at the AFC,
we are first place, Tony.
What are their chances?
Cowboys
in
are in first place. We are.
It's a great question, especially when you consider.
And that's only good.
Last year, we looked at the top 4 offenses that were the top 4 teams left standing. Right.
Yeah.
The top 4 defenses were at home.
Right.
So last year proves it's an offensive league.
Right.
The way the Patriots look to be winning this year,
their defense is like 85 Bears defense. Or Baltimore Raven defense.
Their defense is disruptive, but is their offense good enough to win in the modern era?
That might be this might be the one time if they get to the Super Bowl and win it because of their defense.
And Brady, like there's some of the throws that he made that are missed where it was like jarring.
Yeah,
it's just
and the conditions had a lot to do with what was going on. You know, and I know there's some people out there saying, "Oh, Brian, you're too critical of Dak," but Dak's your best player. He's your best player, man. I mean, that's who you got to lean on.
We were talking in the pregame, an MVP type season for him.
Yeah. I'm just saying, man, I trust Dak. Now, I mean, I was one of those guys when I was on with Jeff Kavanaugh and, Gavin Dawson, those guys. I'm like, Dak can't throw the ball 49 times and expect to win. No, he proved me wrong. He proved me so wrong. And he's one of your best players. And it's just unfortunate tonight that, he just could not outduel Tom Brady. And I don't think Tom Brady was any. I don't think Tom Brady will probably say, hey, we'll go out and buy everybody on defense a steak dinner after that one. Because their offense was not good enough.
Yeah. Dak Prescott in this game, again, mentioned this earlier, but worth mentioning again. Dak Prescott, certainly not his best game of the season. That's been a terrific season for him. 19 of 33, 212 yards, and 1 interception. Running the football. He had 1 carry for 4 yards.
See, I thought they were going to play more. I thought they were going to play more of that read option stuff. Remember, Ari, I was sitting there watching the game with him. I'm like, he's going to pull it. He's going to pull the next one. But Zeke was they were hammered in there. They were making some good plays, making some positive runs. I thought we'd see Dak play a little bit more like what Lamar Jackson did with the Ravens.
True.
Lamar Jackson slowed down the Patriot defense.
Why do we leave so many games wondering why we didn't see more Dak Prescott runs?
That's a good question.
It's the same thing. Why didn't we see more Tony Pollard? Why didn't we see more of this? The things that you think could help this team win, they just abandon at times. Mm-hmm. To me, this is a game where you say, okay, maybe Dak running the ball 10 times would have been really good. I don't want Dak running the ball 10, 15 times a game. I'm just saying that maybe in this condition, maybe in this conditions, it was the right way to do that.
What did you think overall of the offensive game plan by the Cowboys here?
They completely took Amari Cooper away from you. Early in the game, Gallup didn't make enough plays. I thought maybe you would see some more plays, and then they kind of came to him. Dak made the interception. It was such a bad throw. I like the fact that they were running the ball and they had some effectiveness doing it. But man, I just don't know if there was enough of the college concepts that I saw the Ravens do to really put the Patriots in some bad spots.
Explain what you mean by that.
College concepts?
Yes.
Yeah, the pistol. When you see that the read option, the RPOs, the speed option. The speed option. They ran the option one time. Dak made a crazy pitch, but you didn't see, if you went back and you watched the Ravens game, the Ravens did a great job. Greg Roman, their offensive coordinator. And that's the way the Ravens play. You got a dynamic runner and a thrower with the ball. I felt like that's what we were going to see more. Maybe the conditions just were so bad, but conditions to me, if Zeke is running the ball inside, you pull that and get to the outside, maybe you could have got a few more conversions on some, so you wouldn't have been in so many third down situations.
877-881-1053, 877-881-1053. Marlon wants to call in from Mansfield. Go ahead, Marlon. You're on the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Shout out to Mansfield.
Thank you, guys. Once again, a great show tonight.
Appreciate that, man.
The incisive commentary for Brian. I'll make a quick point. Brian, I do respectfully disagree with you on that fourth down call when it's 4th and 7. I know we could have been aggressive. My thinking was, look, the Patriots have been able to move the ball down on us. If we come up short on that play and they go down and at least kick a field goal, it just puts a little bit further out of reach. I was thinking at least at that time. But nonetheless, having said that, I think one of the things that you guys are talking from the coaching, I wonder if Keith O'Quinn, if he's going to have a job this offseason.
Yeah.
Our special teams.
Jason Garrett might not have a job.
He may not. And actually, I'm thinking, I'll say this. The Cowboys could potentially win out the rest of the year, the rest of the season. I know that's a real big positive.
Sure.
They could potentially go 11-5. I don't think that the Eagles game, which many are saying that's going to be the toughest game left on the season, I think they could go 11-5. If they get that kind of push going, they could do well in the playoffs. My last point, at this point, I think we ride or die on Richard, Kellen Moore, and Rod Marinelli.
Yeah.
That's my point. Thank you, guys.
Hey, Marlon, real quick. Can I ask you a question, Marlon, real quick?
What was his point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what gives you hope? What's giving you hope then about this? You're saying win out and all that. What are you hanging your hat on right now? I mean, you want to say
execution.
You said it, Brian. We have the talent. I mean, look.
Do we?
We haven't played well. I do think we overestimated the defense.
I know I did.
In the preseason, I thought we should have gone after the tackle from Tampa Bay. I really thought that we were not as strong at defensive tackle.
Okay.
Yeah. I would have tried to be honest, I would have tried to trade Aruzier early on.
Okay.
I think he's reached his ceiling. I love his toughness, but I just think he's reached his ceiling.
Okay.
Appreciate the phone call, Marlon. And look, maybe we have I think without a doubt we overrated the talent on defense. We probably underrated some of the offensive talent, right? Gallup's probably exceeded expectations.
No, I thought he was 1A. Remember we're talking about this? We're talking about 1s and 1As and stuff like that. And
shout out to you, Jay Fawn. Appreciate you.
Drinking the Kool-Aid. What was I doing? I appreciate Marlon disagreeing with me on the 4th and 7. I just didn't have the faith that they were going to get back down there.
You're at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, and
how about the first time all game they were in inside the 20? The second time.
Yeah, how do you And maybe Marlon's right, because after we saw Minnesota get down inside the 10 twice and then not come away with just 3 points, maybe he's right. But to me, taking the ball out of Dak Prescott's hands right there, and he's not playing. But yeah, maybe he could have made a play for you. Maybe Elliott makes a play. But I appreciate people disagreeing with me, but I didn't feel like the Cowboys were going to get a stop, and I didn't feel like they were going to get the ball back, So I don't know. That's kind of where I would have gone for it then. I would have trusted my quarterback on
I
that
agree
one.
with you there, and I'm more aggressive. Probably go for it on 4th and 3 instead of kicking the 46-yard field goal earlier in the game as well.
Sure. Absolutely.
So certainly some opportunities there for Jason Garrett, the coaching staff, to be aggressive. 877-881-1053.
Oh, my goodness. Man, welcome to the Platinum Club All-Stars, man. Jay, man, my goodness, my brother. Good Lord. Man, really appreciate you, man. You're going to get a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, man. But really appreciate you for joining the Platinum. Wow, look at we got the monster chasing me, man. Oh, my goodness. The caller was, he's very optimistic. Here's the thing against this Bills team. They are feisty. Their defense is just silly nasty. They can run the rock. That's what I'm not worried about. Like the John Brown kid, yeah, he can take the top off the defense. Maybe they look, and I already know. Let me know if Cole Beasley is going to be healthy that game. Yeah, that's going to be another thing too. Cole is a feisty guy as well. I don't know if Cole Beasley healthy. Normally he kind of hurt a little bit. A Woozy is Charles Woodson type of player. This is from Marcellus. I think that Woozier, and everybody knows that I love a Woozier. It's my number. That's my guy. That's my brother from another mother. Shout out to you. You look like a Wakanda warrior out there. Maybe a Woozier before we give up on him. Maybe I want to see him in 2 slots. 2 slots from here. Either the strong safety look or moving him inside as the quote-unquote slot guy. Really do, man. Appreciate you always, lady. Thank you for regulating. Really, really do. Good night to you. Really do appreciate you. Elijah boy. Oh, man, becoming a gold member to elite star status level, man. Really appreciate you. Man, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. You're going to see a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, too, man, that I do for the channel. Oh, my goodness, like exclusive stuff. Man, my goodness. You guys just don't know, man. They joining the elite stuff around here. Get the, he got the gold. Yeah, gold. Everybody, see, this is the thing. Everybody's elite. You know what I mean? When you join the thing, everybody's elite, man. So I really appreciate you, Elijah. Here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. When we look at this thing collectively, here's the thing. I can't even talk straight, man, because you guys are just giving me so much love, man, right now. Here's the thing. When we start talking about this team and where we stand at right now, we need to figure out ways, because this Bills team that we're going to play, you think they're going to come into Texas Stadium? And think about this. Oh, man, good leave. JD, man, what's good, man? Jeez. Another Gold Elite partnership, man. Really appreciate you, man. Oh, my goodness. Man. Here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. When we really look at it and we really think about it, oh my goodness, the Bills. Boy, I love losing Super Bowls. Don't you think that the Bills franchise and organization, they're going to look at this thing and say to themselves, we really want to show up Dallas? We really want to put our foots on their neck sideways because they showed out against us in the Super Bowl? Boy, I love losing Super Bowls. They gonna be ready. They gonna bring their A game.
Victim of circumstance. Key drop passes and not going for it in the road zone 3-2. I said it before. Garrett is the Achilles heel of this team.
Bowden, you 100%. Man, not 99. He's 100%. Matter of fact, I'm lying. He's 110% right. The victim of circumstances. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to be victimized this entire series, but what I'm trying to lament to everyone is that when we collectively look at this thing, when we start talking about Dak Prescott and his coaching staff and their decisions, sometimes they fiddle-faddle around. This game tonight should have been a game for Ezekiel Elliott. It should have been his game. The game against Minnesota Vikings should have been Dak Prescott game. The game against the Saints should have been Dak Prescott game. The game against the Jets should have been Dak Prescott game. You guys see what I'm saying? See, we going back and forward and back, and these are the situations that we come to look at. The Dallas Cowboys looking like this. Let's see if 105.3 the
0% fat.
They still on the commercial break. Y'all let me know when they live like 95. I'm in tears, Law. You seen the 49ers, they get back and balling again. There's one team that I cannot stand. It's one team that I hate more than any. I hate to use the word hate. Are the 49ers. You can talk about the Cry Eagles cry. We could talk about these other teams like the Patriots of the world. But I grew up despising and hating on the 49ers. My other order of hates is also the Saints. I can't stand the Saints. I'm from Natchez, Mississippi. And I look around and I see all of the Saints fans running around talking about who that, and they can't tell me who Joe Horn is. They can't tell me who the quarterback was before what's the kid, Drew Brees. But they run around saying, who that? A bunch of bandwagon fans.
Who were in the room when Jerry spoke. Jerry Jones very unhappy with his team's performance and certainly pointed to the coaching as being a reason for that, both special teams and beyond.
Yeah, he has to be upset because he saw a great opportunity go by the wayside tonight. And you have to go, when you go to Foxborough and play, we've all talked about it, how you almost have to play a perfect game. You cannot allow your own mistakes to affect the way the game was going to go. And clearly there were some things that they did that special teams wise, they had some execution problems. But again, we look at the field position, we look at some of the things that happened. They
consistently had long fields, which has been something that's been an issue all season for them.
Just did not take advantage of a situation where Tom Brady wasn't at his absolute best, but their defense was, and you just did not do enough. You did things to hurt your chances to win that football game, and ultimately you didn't.
So the Cowboys sacked Tom Brady twice. They did bring pressure, and it forced some missed throws. The defense played well. As good of a four-quarter game as we've seen the defense play all season. Here was DeMarcus Lawrence, the leader of that defense, talking with Mike Fisher after the game.
How much do you learn from this, and how much do you just flush it and go to Thursday?
Yeah, it's all about, communication and, great team effort. I mean, we laid it all out on the line tonight, and it's really about, getting back in there and learning from it and, getting better for this Thursday.
How much do you think weather played a factor in everything?
We can't sit here and blame it on the weather. Rain, sleet, snow, windstorm. If we in the desert, sandstorm, it doesn't matter. It's all about, going out and executing with your brothers. And, we did a hell of a job tonight, but we didn't get the job done.
This is a team, the Cowboys won a lot of close games last year. Seems like this year, close game.
Appreciate you, D-Bomb, man. Really do, man. Platinum Elite member, man. Really appreciate you. My goodness, man. Good stuff.
No, you can't
win football games.
Yeah, that's been the biggest problem is that, every time they get a great effort from one side of the ball,
right, the
other side lets you down.
We complain about the offense because the defense plays poorly. The next game we complain about the defense because the offense is playing poorly.
Sure, yeah, and we can talk about the defense though too. But how about some of the plays that they gave up? Some of those chunk plays, those explosive plays. They gave up a 3rd and 20 today. The Julian Edelman gets right at the sticks, inside balls right there. Julian. 3rd and 20, can't get off the field. Give up a first down right there. Those are the things you can't absolutely have happen. In these games,
right?
They gave up a couple of big chunk plays to Edelman. Early in the game, he had Byron Jones was covering him and had a play that went for 20 yards. I mean, it's tough when you can't get them, when you can't get a complete team, and you had to have a complete team effort to beat New England, and they just did not get it. I mean, but they had a couple of times. I mean, I will say this though, they had a pass to Edelman though, right before the half that they took him out of, the field goal range there, or they made the field goal a little bit longer. It was, it was a 3rd down and 7 pass. Yeah, I talked about earlier about Jalen Smith made a great tackle to keep Edelman short of the sticks.
Right.
And then, it saved a first down. The Patriots could have very well have gone for that, but instead they went for the field goal, but a great play. But they had some really nice effort. Heath, Jalen Smith, I think Jordan Lewis.
Forever Louisiana, man. Really appreciate you for the donation to help grow the nation from Faraday, back door, Louisiana, right next to my Natchez, Mississippi land.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and Jeff Heath certainly played a good game.
Yeah, coming back from the injury and playing through some pain. People always are on me about, you're a Jeff Heath, Jeff Heath apologist. No, I just realized that you watched Thompson play last week and he wasn't very good. Jeff Heath will go out there and he'll light you up. He'll make a play. He'll find a way to do something. He'll give you everything he has. But yeah, they've got to be better up the middle of the defense. And I thought the defensive tackles, I saw some stuff from Collins. I saw some stuff from the linebackers. But man, I tell you what, Xavier Woods missed a couple of tackles tonight.
Yeah, Xavier, he missed those.
That's always those things you kind of worry about a little bit.
Here's Jeff Heath after the game with our own Mike Fisher after the Cowboys lose 13-9. Here's Jeff Heath. Mike?
Jeff, as a special teams captain, how frustrating is it that there's little mistakes that seem like are costing you in a big way?
Yeah, super frustrating. When you're playing a good team on the road, you got to bring your defense and special teams. I think defensively we play solid. Like I've said numerous times that we didn't get the ball, but special teams, we just can't let that happen. That's obviously, but it was a huge play in the game, giving the ball right there, and they've kind of. Their season, they've kind of made a living off doing that. Like, even when their offense is struggling a little bit, their defense comes through with the big play, or their special teams come through with the big play. So we knew that's what they want to do. They want to rush a punter, and definitely disappointing.
Wow.
There you go. There's Jeff Heath on the Dallas Cowboys postgame show.
Here's what I like about Woods, and this is my objectively speaking talking right now with Woods. I love his coverage abilities out in space. Trust me, his ability to cover, rangy. I love that aspect of it. But I don't like the shoulder tackles that he do when it's time to get nasty with it. Can Woods hit you? Yes. Unexpectedly, he can lay the wood on you. So can Woods play in the box well? No, he don't give you that element. So those are his weak points. And he's smallish. I said earlier today, I'm 196 pounds. Woods is about 202. I mean, he's not that much bigger than me, basically. And if I was young like he is right now, and that's what, I'm like 12, 13 years older than him, maybe 15 years older than him, right around that area. I can probably gain about additional 6 or 7 pounds, But here's the thing. We love him. We love what he can do out there. But I'm thinking that he's not a weak point of this defense. I just think that we just need to improve. I think that he needs to feed off of somebody that he knows for sure is going to be where they're going to be at, So that's just my thoughts on the Woods. I think that he is an excellent guy. I think he is.
The earlier years, I never saw him step out of bounds. When he had in preseason, when he had his game against Eric Thomas, he went after him. You got to go out. You're probably bigger than 90% of the DBs in this league. You got an advantage. Chop wood.
No way, Tony
Go
Rivers.
downhill. Don't step out of bounds. I don't need you stepping out of bounds unless we're trying to conserve clock.
Appreciate the phone call, Rodney.
I don't know. I thought
I remember that could be a good complaint about DeMarco Murray. I don't know that I've ever heard that complaint about Zeke Elliott.
I understand, to me, one of your better players in this game was Ezekiel Elliott.
Right.
And whether he gets pulled out or pulled himself out, I felt like that he's the one reason why he actually had a chance in this game. His toughness, his ability to catch the football, his ability to make some things happen. I wish they'd have run the screen a little bit more with him, tried to get him the ball. I thought he was finishing some runs.
Wow.
I don't think, like I say, I don't think that, if you want to say Zeke doesn't look explosive, Zeke doesn't look like he could finish runs, long distance runs.
Not making people miss.
Not make people miss. I'm with you all day, Rodney. But to question his toughness, I'm not dancing with you on that one.
I'm certainly curious what happened at the end. We were wondering too why Pollard was in the game.
Right.
But Zeke, the things that this dude has played through and played well despite those things.
People will say, well, he's
my guy Jay Farr, man. Hey, man, the truth hurts, man. Don't be giving us that, man. Don't be giving us the truth all the time, Jay. You got to lie sometimes, right? Tell a little white lie, Jay. Stop it.
Let
Jay
the guy
Farr,
throw the football. I don't care. Tonight, you needed him in nasty, tough conditions to be great. And I thought he delivered for what you needed from him tonight.
Yeah, there were a lot of areas where the Cowboys were outplayed, out-executed, out-coached. I don't know that Zeke Elliott is the reason that they lost this football game.
No.
He's probably pretty far down that list.
Yeah.
Hey, on that play, he was talking about the caller. I missed his name or what have you. On that play he was referred to is when Ezekiel Elliott broke out to the edge. He ran down the field, got all of the necessary yards, and he stepped out of bounds. To me personally, I love that form of Ezekiel Elliott versus punishing a guy at the end because we want to preserve his physical body. We already been talking about he looks like he lost just the inch or a step. We want to preserve it. If the Cowboys are going to continue to use him in those factors, we want to be able to really, preserve some of that. So him stepping out of bounds reminded me at the time I was saying like, hey, Emmitt Smith used to do that all the time. Allen, Lott. Let's see what the AI got to say.
Jason Garrett is not even a good coach. We have so many weapons, we should crush any defense. We fact that we still leave games saying all of the things we could have done but didn't is ridiculo.
My goodness. Alan laying all the facts. They got commercial break on 105.3 The Fan, man. Really appreciate you, man, so much, Alan, man. Really do appreciate you from the deep down and the bottom of my heart. And right now, my heart is aching because we lost this game. And trust me, this is against a team that is a formidable team. We said that if the Cowboys win convincingly, maybe Jerry Jones can look at his son and say, hey, you know, maybe it's a bittersweet situation. He could look at it and say, well, hey, we should at least extend you for 3 to 4 years, maybe 5. Who knows? But by us losing, maybe, just maybe, Jerry Jones himself can look at it and say to himself, man, if we lose against the Bills in a convincing way at home, meaning that we can't eat this great feast that we about to eat good, man, I don't want to feel that way this Thursday coming around the corner. I want to be able to enjoy this potato salad. I want to be able to enjoy this turkey leg that I'm going to eat. I want to be able to enjoy this dressing. I want to enjoy this German chocolate cake. Can't wait to get to the dessert. But if we show some up, if we play like we played against the Jets, if we play like we played against what other team that we kind of lost, like, hey, whoa, what was that? If we play that type of football, I don't know if I can enjoy this Thanksgiving. Now, if we play competitive and we miss the game, we lose the game off of a kind of like a crazy field goal kick, maybe I can stomach that a little bit, but I don't want to accept that. Ridiculous. Shout out to my guy Alan Lott, though, man. Really appreciate you again for making the donation. Zeke is slow. This is from Trips. Trip. That's all we've been doing today. We've been tripping people, right? Shout out to you, man. Garrett is a clown. Ha ha ha. This is from one of the sponsors, man. He said Garrett is a clown. Hey, you know, his shoe fits. You know, it is what it is. I don't mind losing. It's how we lose is often. And this is from JD, my brother from another mother. Pumpkin pie? Pumpkin pie, carrot cake, or sweet potato pie. Which one you guys prefer? Pumpkin pie or the sweet potato pie or the carrot cake? Let me know. Let me know. This is from 805 Pumpkin Pie. Don't worry, we're going to beat the Bills. This is from JD. I'm ready for them, JD. You know I'm ready for those Bills. Boy, I love losing Super Bowls. I'm ready to beat them. But what scares me a little bit, yes, Law finally said it, and I'm not folding up like a lawn chair, but what scares me just a little bit is the fact that they can run the rock. That's the only thing that scares me just a little bit. If I'm trying to be transparent right now. Turn the TV off. The old boy says, I'm not going to turn the TV off. No, I'm going to keep the TV going, baby. I turned it off because I definitely don't want to see this score. I can turn it on and see what the 49ers game is all about, but I don't want to see that score right now. I don't want to see that score. I don't. Shout out to the sweet potato pies, though. I have yet to have a pumpkin pie, I believe. I had some carrot cake before. It's a little different than pies, but the best cake of all is German chocolate. If I can tier it, I got German chocolate in first place. Second place is red velvet. And then Italian cream is in third place. That's my order of cakes. Now, pies, man, you got to have sweet potato pie, a pecan pie, and then you got to have a lemon meringue, or however you say that thing. You know what I mean? That's how I go with my pies. I don't do no
Cowboys
cherry
get the
pies
ball
and
back.
all that
That's
stuff.
your defensive stop of the game. Here's an interesting interesting piece here for the defensive side of the football. Jalen Smith, DeMarcus Lawrence, Antoine Woods all tweet #tripping.
Tripping. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard. You know, these players they focus on things that we're focusing on, you know, and they just want to understand the rules. You know, they want to understand the calls. And it's tough when you play in a game where everything appears to be on the line. And I don't mean like Super Bowl or anything like that. I just mean, you know, get a win here. Yeah, there's a lot. You're playing for a lot. I mean, you get to this point in time of the season, you're playing for a lot. They just want to understand, you know. To me, I'm always the guy that says, let them play. But
Let them play.
You know,
yeah.
and
they
I
talking about
used to get,
why they talking about letting them play. I gotta say this: apple pie. I'm more of the apple cobbler, like the apple cobbler and the peach cobbler, if that goes with it, you know. But I can't eat peach cobbler and apple cobbler if you call it apple cobbler or you just call it apple pie without ice cream. I gotta have ice cream. But sometimes the peach cobbler or the peach pie, however you want to call it, peach cobbler is above the apple pie. It's above it to me. It's just above it because the apples sometimes can be hard. You know what I mean? You bite into it, you think you're going to get something soft. But the peach cobbler got more consistency. And then don't let grandmama put her foot in it. And then you're going to have that crust. And you got to have that crust with the ice cream on top. And I like how this coaching staff coaches vanilla. I like it with just the plain vanilla. I like it with the Coach Garrett coaching on top of that peach cobbler. Man, y'all got me talking about Thanksgiving.
That's what Mike Pereira said today in our pregame show. You know, he was talking about. I asked him about,
and there's a balance there.
Yeah, there's a balance there. But you know, I'd also, I would just like the officials again to stay out of it late in games, unless it's one of those penalties like we saw what happened in New Orleans in the playoff game and all that. I get it. They had a pass interference in that game today that affected Sean Payton and that crew again. Ron Rivera challenged a pass interference. First time all year I think I've seen a pass interference penalty be like, yes, overturned.
Yeah.
So, but it's just unfortunate that that's what we're thinking about now instead of why didn't the offense do enough and then why didn't the special teams play better?
And look, I think, at the end of a game, it's never one thing. We always try to make it simple and it's this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly the calls played a role. And coaching miscues played a role.
Huge role.
And
execution played a huge role.
Right,
yeah.
exactly. Execution.
Yeah.
I mean, you missed a lot of throw. A slow start team gets off to another slow start, and they put themselves in a 10-0 hole because of their slow start. I mean, they lose 13-9. You go back to those first 4 drives of this football game for the Cowboys.
All like 3 turnovers, basically.
Punt, missed field goal.
Yeah.
Blocked punt, interception.
Yeah. There you go. You can't, you're playing, I don't care. Tom Brady and them are not the same team. Defensively, they're outstanding. They got a great head coach, but offensively, they're not the same team. You had to go out there and have a great offensive effort. You had to try and match them, and you didn't do that today. Felt like the runner did. Felt like the runner played hard in this game. I disagree with Rodney on that. If he disagrees with me, I disagree with him on the runner playing hard.
21 of 86, Zeke Elliott.
Yeah.
4 yards a carry, but he did have a long of 12, and he was consistent running the football.
Catching the football, too.
4 for 40.
Yeah. Yeah. In those
100
conditions,
all-purpose yards.
Yeah, in those conditions, again, I'm surprised we didn't see more of that college offense like I talked about with the Ravens with Dak pulling the ball. Maybe Dak Prescott running the ball 10, 12, 14 times in this game might have been okay. Might have helped you get going.
877-881-1053, 877-881-1053. Homer is calling in from Robstown. Go ahead, Homer. You're on the Dallas Cowboys radio network.
Hey there, guys. Good evening. First-time caller. Love your show.
Thank you.
Long-time Cowboy fan. No, I was just going to mention that, going back to the game, that you got Tom Brady in basically a bandaged-up, handicapped Patriots team instead of one, and not to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but I knew the Cowboys weren't going to win the minute they stepped on the field.
Why is that?
I knew it.
Why is that?
The reason saying is that I don't trust the coaching staff, and you need a pit bull out there, and what worries me is that now you put so much effort into this game that I feel that they're going to be gassed out come Thursday.
Well,
oh wow,
they know what's ahead.
Yeah,
Shane,
I'm gonna show you how to get there.
They knew this was going to be very difficult.
Buffalo is Buffalo played at home today. They got to win, but they're having to travel on a short week.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is the reason why I'm using these Thanksgiving Day games. Like it's usually the Lions playing the Bears or the Packers is because they think, okay, let's make it even. Divisional teams tend to know each other.
Right.
The Cowboys have done all they could scouting wise with they'll put in the stuff tonight and get that all squared up for Buffalo. But the Cowboys better find a way to go win this football game. They better find a way to go win this game Thursday night and set themselves up for the following week against the Bears.
Saw an interesting stat. since Sean McDermott's been the head coach of the Buffalo Bills.
There you go, Shane.
They've given up 43 passing touchdowns in 43 games.
Yeah.
So it's going to be another very difficult, salty defense to go up against.
Sure it is.
One passing touchdown in the modern era per game.
Who is your best player on this football team?
For the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah. You should feel, Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper plays really well at home. His splits from home and road are huge. Huge. But you better find a way to go win this football game. I don't care if it's 1 day, 4 days, 20 days. You better go find a way to win this football game.
877-881-1053. Drew is calling in from Cleveland. Go ahead, Drew. You're on the Dallas Cowboys radio network.
Yes. I want to discuss the tight end position.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. George Kittles and stuff getting open, but we don't have nobody who can get open in the goal line. Jason Witten does not have it anymore. He should have retired. He's holding Dak back.
He did retire.
Appreciate the phone call, Drew. They need George Kittle. Broadus.
I'll tell you what.
Get George Kittle.
I'm all about Iowa tight ends.
we picked Ryan Switzer before George Kittle.
Yeah. I love those guys. Yeah. To me, this is where you want to talk about Blake Jarwin,
right?
How about Blake Jarwin on the third down pass? We were waiting. Ari, did he catch it? They threw the ball on the back end line. I thought, oh my God, he came up with it.
And they never even showed.
They never showed a replay of that.
Right.
Never showed how close he was. Maybe he's clearly out of bounds.
Right.
But yeah, this is to me.
What's your feeling on how the divide between the snaps between Witten and Jarwin's
to me? It doesn't matter the snaps. How about when he's on the field, get him the ball?
Jay, don't.
How about
put it
just
out there,
get him
Jay.
the ball?
Put it out there again for everybody, Jay.
The boots, the waggles, stuff like that's great. Fine. We saw it. They killed the Detroit game the other day. Got a first down on a really nice play. But I don't think if he's playing 38% of the snaps, 40%, whatever he's playing, find ways to get him the ball.
Floyd Day, I agree. Floyd Day.
Don't sit there and people are saying,
Willie,
well, if you keep Witten out there, Witten's taking away the opportunity to get him the ball. I just feel like though that when he's on the field, you should find a way to get him the ball. Mm-hmm. If it's 38%, get him the ball. He's proven that he can make plays. And if you need to create stuff for him on the goal line in the red zone, do that. The red zone trip's been bad. Those two Minnesota trips, bad. And then this trip, this red zone.
Shades of last season. Remember how bad this team was in the red zone? They were so good to start the year as a red zone team.
Sure. And then now it's just like they can't find space. Questionable play call. Like Brad was talking about the reverse, that there's some calls that they could have done without.
Marcus Mosier, who does a great job covering the Dallas Cowboys, says, let's check in on the Cowboys special teams ranks for 2019. 21st in opponent kick return average, 26th in field goal percentage, 27th in punt return average, 32nd in kick return average by a good margin, 32nd in gross punt average, 32nd in net punt average, tied for 32nd in blocked kicks forced, tied for 32nd in punts blocked.
Yeah.
They're dead last in a lot of statistical categories in special teams.
And they like to talk about, again, I brought up the fact of core special teams guys. You could hear it in Jeff Heath's voice. He wasn't too proud of what happened today. And, Mickey was talking about a lot of young guys. I don't want to use that as an excuse. If you're one of those guys that puts on a jersey, if you're one of the 46, on a Sunday, you need to do your job. And they have not had their guys do a good enough job to be difference makers, and it cost them a game today. It really did.
And one of those things, the Cowboys are number one in the NFL in offensive yards, put up tons of yards. Part of the reason is they have so many long fields consistently.
Sure they do.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity for tons of yards.
How many 10 play, 12 play, 13 play drives of 75 yards scoring drives have they had? Yeah, it's unreal. Yeah, they put up a lot of yards because again, that field position they average.
It's a bend but don't break offense.
Field position for the at home. I believe I saw this for the Patriots coming in this game was average starting field position of 34.9.
Wow.
Think about that.
And what's do you know?
Cowboys was like less than 24.
They give it to you at the 25 for a touchback.
Exactly.
You get the 25 for a touchback. The Cowboys average aren't even there.
They're terrible.
Wow.
Terrible numbers though for that.
Man,
they haven't done a good enough job. They really they haven't.
Jeez.
You've been talking about having different guys. I mean, how much of that falls on Keith O'Quinn and Garrett? Like, just give me an idea of where you point blame in that particular. Is there so much changeover on special teams?
I don't know how Keith O'Quinn and Jason Garrett can't look at themselves and say we're
responsible for this.
We're responsible for this. Jason Garrett's going to come out tomorrow in a press conference and talk about, well, Jason, when you look back on the special teams tape, we should have done better. Should have been better communicated.
We'll learn from this.
We should have better communicated that Tavon Austin should have taken the ball and run to the sidelines as fast as he could in that Minnesota game to give us a chance. You know, those are the things you need to do.
By the way, that Jason Garrett press conference tomorrow is at 6:45 tomorrow night.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of folks tomorrow that's not going to be too happy out there at the Star. I used to live that. You know, I'll be watching.
6:45.
Rub it in, Brian. Rub it in,
tomorrow
Brian.
Would make Wednesday. Jason Garrett always has to match his days up on Thursday games.
Yeah, it's one of those weird tricks that we try and play with each other. You know, today is a Wednesday. Today is a Thursday.
Get him, Brian.
Garrett is. He's got a press conference on Tuesday at 10:35 on Tuesday, and then he's got another one at 12:15 on Wednesday the 27th before the game.
And that would be, I guess, Saturday for Garrett. Yeah. Wednesday is Saturday.
Yeah.
Man, y'all let up on Coach,
down,
man.
Left is right. Brian Broaddus, Ari Tepkin. Cowboys lose 13-9. We'll wrap it up, put a nice little bow on it for you next. Get you ready for this Thursday game. And ultimately, they lose this game. They fall to 6-5. They can still win the division, but what is this loss? What do multiple losses on the season say about the potential for this team's ceiling? Brian Broaddus, Ari Tepkin.
Y'all let me know when they back live. Man, Brian Broaddus is getting them, man. He's throwing those little low jabs. Man, I'm so mad about it, but it's the reality. And we can already tell you guys at 6 o'clock, whatever that press conference is, I can tell you the first words. How you doing, guys? That's going to be the first words. And that's just going to be the reality. He's going to have a blue shirt on. He's going to have those slacks. It just is how it goes with Cowboys Nation, man. It's just how it is, man. Brian Broaddus is throwing all type of salt and shade at this coaching staff. It goes back to this. If we are ranked 32nd in all of those categories, and we rank 31st as it relates to special team, Keith O'Quinn, he can't be the sacrificial lamb. At some point, we have to go look at how many college teams out there, Cowboy Nation. How many college teams are out there that's doing well at special teams? And you mean to tell me that this organization, this is not an organization that makes thousands of dollars a month. This is an organization that makes millions. This is an organization that's not just one of the putt-putt teams around here. You know what I mean? This is an organization that makes billions. Remember, there's no salary cap as it relates to coaching. Jerry Jones should have been on the phone. Midway is already close, over a little bit of beyond midway. And we're looking at these stats, and we're looking at where the coaching staff is located at as it relates to special teams. And somebody told me last year he was still in that 28th, 29th, 30 category. When you know for sure you have a guy named Tavon Austin. You have a Tony Pollard, I believe, who, quote unquote, in college had over 7 kickoff and punt returns, right? From my recollection. So you mean to tell me that Jerry Jones can't get on the phone or call his son, Stephen Jones, to get on the phone and start calling these college coaches out and saying, okay, can you help me out with special teams? Can you help me out with special teams? I got a check that I can put as many zeros on it. Oh, you playing for some obscure state? You coaching that team? No worries. Here's $500,000 signing bonus. You see, I got a plane. Matter of fact, I got a plane right now. Just drive to the nearest airport. Private jet would take you right here to the Star in Frisco. That if we really want to win. But if we looking at 32 overall as it relates to special team, is that a phase of a game? It takes 3 phases to win a game, don't it? Let me know. Call me out if I'm lying. It takes 3 phases to win a game. We just watched the game tonight or today, whatever how you looking at it, depending on wherever area you are at. We watched the game today. That you can single-handedly say that the special teams for the New England Patriots won it for them. Huh? Let me know where I'm lying at. If you guys want comfortable lies and say, okay, we're going to win out, we're going to be able to just somehow miraculously, this special team is going to overcome their woes and we're going to win this special team. I recall a certain team going all the way to a Super Bowl and winning it via special teams. Law, do you have any information on that? The first person that I saw was Desmond Howard. Huh? Did he go all the way to the Super Bowl because he was a dynamic kick return guy? I know this way in the 90s. Oh, Law, can you show me something that's in modern day times? Oh, Did the Saints do a onside kick to change the pace and the momentum in that Super Bowl? Special teams. All 3 phases of the game.
And not the greatest player of the game line, certainly, but hard-pressed to find somebody else with a better performance for the Cowboys.
What's the
Zeke
score,
kept them in this
Shane, on
football
the
game,
Niners?
Though he didn't have a great yards per carry average at 4.1.
I can't stand the Packers as
still
well.
had some really nice runs, and especially 4 of 40 through the air as well, Brian.
Yeah, I think that when you start talking about the complete players that they needed, you needed guys to have the type of game with the way the conditions were, his ability to run the football. Garrett always talks about the dirty, the tough yards. The Patriots weren't going to let him do that, but I felt like though he put his head down and did what he had to do to get yards, to get physical yards. I didn't understand quite what
23-0.
What our callers were talking about as far as questioning his toughness and the way he played today. But it was totally one of those things where he came to play today. It's just unfortunate though they didn't make enough plays around him.
Here was Sean Lee after the game, who played extended snaps with Leighton Vander Esch being out. Good chance Vander Esch will be out again on Thursday. Here is Sean Lee visiting with Mike Fisher after this one.
Is it fair for us to spend time on the weather and the elements and how much of a factor that is here?
Yeah, fair. Both teams had to play in it, and that's never an excuse.
Are you troubled by some special teams issues that seem like they're fairly simple and can't quite get them straight?
No, I just know as a team, everybody has to look at themselves. Okay, what can we do better individually to make plays and get over the hump? We play these close games, but it's time for us to take that next step and win games like this.
All right, there's Sean Lee, not making any excuses. You just got to do what you need to do individually to make this team a better football team, bro.
No, and Mike asked that question a bunch to all those guys. Weather. Yeah, and Sean's right. Both teams played in it. One team handled it better early in the game. If you look at what the Patriots were able to do, Dak had to make a bad throw to the flat to Randall Cobb in order to go to the gloves. New England. Gronkowski in the halftime was like, they practice outside. Yeah, because you don't have a bubble. You don't have a way to practice. You don't have anything to. I'm making. I don't know. They might have a bubble, but they do practice outside. The thing about it though is to me, the Patriots handled that better. But they were a better team defensively today.
Appreciate you.
The Cowboys' strength is their offense. It's not their defense. The strength is their offense, and when their offense doesn't go, they're not going to win games, and it just didn't go well enough today.
And the only touchdown in this football game, the only touchdown for both teams, was set up on a blocked punt.
Yeah.
So you gave them basically a 1st and goal after a blocked punt, and they cash in on a N'Keal Harry touchdown catch, and that's basically the deciding factor in this game. We talked about the first 4 drives. Punt, missed field goal, blocked punt, and then an interception.
Yeah.
10 points.
10 points right there. I could say, one team, there's no excuse. You had an opportunity against a New England team that was really compromised at receiver. You allowed a rookie receiver to make a catch in the end zone for a touchdown. You knew the only real factor they had on on offense was Julian Edelman. And it looked like they mixed coverages on him to try, but he had some big chunk plays.
He did.
Some big explosive. That 3rd and 20, and he catches it for 20 yards.
That hurt.
You're talking about losing to good teams that are compromised. That's kind of been the story of the Cowboys season.
That's been the story. Yeah, this team cannot find a way to play a complete football game.
So the players will say, and we heard Jason Garrett say, it's no big deal. Who we lose to, it doesn't matter. How much does it matter in that locker room that this team can't beat good teams?
Hell, it matters a lot. It psychologically, if you win the division, you're going to have to probably play the Packers, who are getting drilled tonight by San Francisco. You're going to probably have to play a Minnesota, Seattle. You're going to have to play San Francisco. You're going to have to play somebody that's really a good football team. And you've just proven you can't put together a complete game in order to win. You had a chance against Minnesota inside the 10-yard line twice, 3 points. Come on, you get beat by the Jets. What kind of team is that? If you're sitting there saying, "Oh, I'm going to hang my hat," things will turn on the light and they could go 11-5 and win the rest of the games. Yeah, sure, and they could also lose the rest of these games.
What
too.
have you seen from this team through 11 games that leads you to believe that they could run the table the rest of the season, regardless of who they play the rest of the season? They can run the table.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But you're right. I mean, what have we seen in 11 weeks? It's like, this team can win 6 straight games.
Oh, sure. I mean, offensively, you're saying, they're good enough. They're good enough, but they're also they could also not make plays when they have to. They also get unfortunate penalties.
Right.
Yeah, special teams breakdowns. This team can't get out of its own way at times. That's the big problem here.
Trying to find tickets to football games or any other live event can be complicated. There's hundreds of sites and shady pricing with SeatGeek.
Don't worry about SeatGeek. Shout out to SeatGeek, though, but hit up Cowboys Experience, and the information should be on one of my pages. Just go to cowboysexperience.com, and you can find some great ticket pricings, as well as meet and greet sessions with former and current players, and you get a chance to get on the field. We got field access, Cowboy Nation. So if you want to walk around and parade around on the field, hit up cowboysexperience.com.
4th and 7 not as manageable.
Yeah.
Maybe if it were a closer distance,
sure,
you might have gone for it, but.
Well, maybe you should have clicked over on the headset and told the offensive coordinator, "Hey, I'm thinking about going forward here on 4th down. Get me close, or try and pick this thing up." You got 2 downs here.
Going forward on 4th down starts with what you do on 3rd down to set up a potential 4th down.
Exactly. If he's in a situation where he clicks over and tells Kellen Moore, "Hey, I am thinking about going. If you get this thing close, I'm thinking about going for it on 4th down." But he didn't.
What's the identity of this football team?
That's a silly question.
Give me the identity.
Because nobody knows.
Do they need an identity?
Brian Brothers has got
hard with you like that.
No.
It's a silly question because I don't know. I don't know what to see. I mean, I want to believe that this team has the capability of going out and playing with anybody in the National Football League.
True.
And then I watched this team lose to a game, lose to the Jets. Lose to a backup quarterback in New Orleans.
To a Vikings team that
you lose to a Vikings. Kirk Cousins hasn't beaten you in years. He throws for 400 yards every time, but he never beats you. What is their identity? Nobody
Somebody
knows.
Put it in the comment box, man. What are the Dallas Cowboys' identity?
Overrated, or is it something as a football team psychologically you need to know? This is their identity.
Are they a mentally tough team? Is this a mentally tough team?
They got some resiliency, though.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you need to know. Mentally tough teams are down personnel and go out and win. And their quarterback is not great, but they block a punt. They get a stop. They create turnovers, force, get missed field goals. That's what an identity of a team is. A mentally tough team that goes out there and gets it done. This team doesn't get it done. That's a big problem.
But I think of Dak as a leader of this football team as being mentally tough.
Sure.
Where does
You're
that
6
come
and 5.
From? Right.
You're 6 and 5.
Where does that, but I mean, does mental toughness, does that come from coach? Does it come from leadership? Where does that come from? Players?
I don't think they have nearly enough mentally tough players. How do they have breakdowns at the worst time? How does that happen? If you want to be one of these teams, you want to be a great team. You want to be a team that is fair. Jerry Jones even said it. He goes, "Hey, this roster, I've got too good players to be feeling this frustrated."
Yeah.
So what is this team?
Let's do it again on Thursday. It'll be the Dallas Cowboys and the Buffalo Bills on Thanksgiving. Pregame show starts at 12.
Now we know why Brian Broaddus is no longer working for the Cowboys. You can paint a picture however you want it. They probably gave him some gag orders and say, "Okay, you respectfully walked away, and here's an extra $1,000 to not say that you were fired." And at the end of the year, maybe they put like a 5 or 6 year clauses on those gag orders. And Brian Broaddus said, "Okay. But long as we are okay with the situation," people divorce all the time, right? People break up in relationships all the time. And we see things like that, of a mutual respect, of disagreeancy. And that's just how it goes. I think that it wasn't, me personally, I thought it was like Mickey versus Brian. But no, it wasn't that. It was something more of sometimes the truth. A lot of people don't like to accept the truth, if I can be real with you all, can get down and dirty with you all. A lot of people don't want the truth. They would rather have comfortable lies. And this modern day society is pushing this thing of everybody being PC. You know, you can't say, well, that kid is fat and he can't run. You see, that'd be egregious for you to say. You can't say, well, that teacher got funky breath and she's sloppy. You can't say that anymore in these days and time. You can't say, well, I don't like this person because they got freckles. You can't say that. It's got to be so PC now, because this society that we are in is a society where everybody is perfect. Everybody is okay. You know, we watch a small participation trophies that's given out to smaller teams or smaller people in the Pee Wee football league. Everybody get a trophy, but they refuse to say to this kid that, hey, you just suck right now. You can't run. You need to pick up another skill. You see, or they banging on the piano keys and they can't learn the piano music. They can't learn things. They can't read things. And we can't just be honest with kids. We got to say, you can be the next, Stephen Wonder. Even though you can see, but you can be the next Stephen Wonder. We can't just. We in the PC culture. We're at an all-time sensitive nation right now. Yet it's just a reality. I wish I could say it in other ways, but it's just going to come off as me being brash, or it's come off with me being negative. But I don't want the trophy. If I come in 4th place, I don't want it. Don't give it to me. Don't give it to me. 3rd place, maybe. And I'm almost cursed, man. I don't want the 3rd place trophy. There have been many a times that I came in 3rd place and I don't even want to walk up there. You can say that, well, hey, Law, you been coy with this thing. No, I don't want 3rd place. I'm mad that dude just beat me. That dude just I want to figure out how I can beat him next week. I don't like to lose. I told everybody last week I'm a sore loser. I do not like to lose. But I do this. And this is not me lying to kick it. I will shake your hand and say, hey, man, you won. You won. You won, But at the end of the day, I'm squeezing his hand to see if I can find any weakness. He's a little weak. Got soft hands. You might have won with your soft hands, though. I'm going to get you next time. I'm going to focus real hard next time. You see? That's my mentality. I want to dominate you. I want to gobble you up. I want to be able to expose the opposition. And even when I'm up by multiple points, I really want to drive home so that the next time you can taste the situation with me, that you're going to say to yourself, man, this dude, man, come on, can you stop? Because here's the thing. Maybe it's Napoleon complex. I'm the shortest person in my family. I'm the shortest person. My youngest brother's like 6'3.5". You see, my oldest brother is like 6'3.5" too. Everybody like 6'3". I ate the same time they ate. I was like, where my height at? Why I'm only 5'10"? You see what I'm saying? I got that Napoleon complex syndrome right now. But I refuse to have my little brothers come chest me up. My bigger brother come chest me up. No, not today. This finna be a game that we're going to play rough, rugged all day long. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, you know why I win? Because I don't give up. I fight. Oh, man, Law, man, you foul. Foul where? Man, you hit my hand. Where? You didn't call it? Oh, you gonna call ball after you made the shot? After you missed the shot, you didn't call ball. You playing touch foul or what have you? Nah, man, you hit my knee while we was in the air. Nah, come on. I'm trying to take you out at every given situation. I refuse to lose. That's just how I look at it, Cowboy Nation. Let me know if you all, Marcus Calloway, shout out to you, man. Y'all want to take phone calls, man? Y'all still locked, loaded, and ready? Let me know, man. Let me because I've been live. Somebody asked me earlier, how long you been live, Law? I've been live. We got to talk about it. I've been live for the game for 3 years. Let me get the cameraman. Cameraman, you better win. Cameraman, get on my face. All right, so I've been live earlier. Rue, I've been live. I did a 45-minute show earlier, right? And then ultimately for me to get off of that show, and we did the game. The game is anywhere 3 hours long. And now this game been live for 2 hours and 22 minutes. I do not need no rest. Come on, cameraman. Get right. Fuzzy. The camera ready to give up on me. All right, so let me see if I can turn that thing on, man. I hate losing, man. And I hate to be associated with a team with that loser defeative mentality. Now, this is the thing where Brian Brothers had to say, is this team mentally tough? I would say that we are not mentally tough as it relates to when we know that we still have opportunities and chances left. We are a resilient team, meaning that when it's almost like win or go home, I think that the Dallas Cowboys will rise to the occasion as it relates to regular season. I think that they pull from somewhere and they play lights out. I really think that this team can win and get to the playoff. I have us going 10-6, so that's got us losing only one more game. I still think that 10-6 will be a record to get us into the playoff. I think that we need to get into the playoff before I open up the phone lines. We need to get into the playoff as a wild card. We do. Well, not as a you know what I'm saying. First week of the playoff, we need to play. We don't need to have a bye week. Oh man, we got another donation for Have to Grow the Nation, man. Big Rigs, man. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. Got to leave a comment, though, bro, so the AI can speak, man. Really appreciate it. Here's the thing. Yeah, I've been live since 95. Silver Ancient. Yeah. Good comeback, bro. Here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. Before I turn the phone lines on, here's the thing. I believe, this is just my core thoughts. We don't need no bye weeks. We need to go right into the playoff. You need to be week one or what have you. Got that one playoff game, home game. Because I think that the Eagles going to fold up and crumble. They are the Cry Eagles, who they are. And I think that we can get to the playoff. Believe it or not, it looks kind of far from here, but we are 6-5. We are leading in our division. But here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. We do not need no bye weeks. Somehow, if we can get that playoff rush and we can see if we can play inside somebody's dorm or perfect weather conditions, this is what it all takes for the Cowboys to get to the Super Bowl. Call me delusional, Law. You just said Law. You just talking about nail Jason Garrett to the cross and hang him upside down, crucify Jason Garrett, reverse crucifixion on Jason Garrett, right? But what I'm saying is that I love this team so much that I want us to get to the dance. I want us to get to the playoff. I want us to figure out ways to get things together. You be the number one offense in the league. Maybe the lights can turn on for the defense. We can win that one playoff game. Give a little spark. Somehow, one way or another, the next team. It got to be perfect situation. It got to be inside a dome. I don't think that we can play outside for some strange reason. Whoever we play, I don't know who the next team we'll play. Maybe it'll be the Saints. We beat the Saints. The third team we play, maybe, just maybe it'll be inside somewhere. Or it could be some crazy situation that is back in Dallas. It could be something crazy like that. And if we can figure out a way to win, and then we get to the Super Bowl. This is just me thinking, Cowboy Nation. Don't call me crazy. We can get to the Super Bowl. It's going to be in Miami, right? Somehow, one way or another, we can do something there. It'll just be a puncher's chance. Don't tell me what Kittle is doing, Cowboy Nation. Don't tell me Kittle. Because every time I think of Kittle, I'm looking at Ryan Switzer. We picked Ryan Switzer over Kittle. Oh, my goodness. Don't tell me that. The phone line is 682-214-4087, man. Don't tell me, Cowboy Nation. Don't hurt my feeling. 434, man. You got about 2-3 minutes. Talk to me, man. You live.
2-3 minutes. This is Coach 434. How you doing, brother?
Yes, Coach. What's good with you?
Oh man, just living the dream.
I'm
feeling like it's starting to be my nightmare. So real quick, a couple things. Want to start off with Brada saying low hanging fruit. At this point, brother, that's the only fruit that's on the tree. We had a couple things. 3rd and 20. We got guys dropping back 25 yards to give them a first down on a 3rd and 20. I don't understand it. On defense, we don't know where the sticks are. On offense, we don't know where the sticks are. I'm not understanding. Keeping going through this. Tripping was at this point, you got to feel like the tripping was brought to the referees by a coaching staff or something. Okay, for it to be called twice in the game, this feels a lot like the Amari Cooper push-off situation. The thing I don't understand too is how you let the best special teams guy on their team come right up the middle, not touched. I don't understand that. I do know that the only time we were in the red zone tonight, we kick a field goal. We haven't gotten there all night long.
Yeah.
We kick a field goal. 4th down, I understand, but it's not even 4th and goal. Okay, you can get a first down within the 5-6 yard mark. Okay, so I'm not understanding that. Here's the thing. I'll give it to you this. You got to think, if we don't get it, percentages of the Patriots marching 80+ yards down the field to get a touchdown
is very slim, especially in that weather. We can stop them, right? Not only that, that would still give us probably the best field position we've had all day if they punt the ball, okay? So either way, it falls back on us, but one way or another, our coaching staff finds a way to put us behind the 8 ball instead of in front of it. So just a couple more things. We're talking about coaching. I'm thinking about the 15-second runoff when you can tell there's visible confusion whether Amari Cooper actually caught that ball or not. We got a 15-second runoff where our coaches is not telling our guys to get up to the ball, snap it. I don't care if you spike the ball. I don't care if you quarterback sneak it. Get up to the ball, snap the ball so they don't have a chance to look at this play. All right? We don't do it. We don't do it. We don't have coaching on the sidelines screaming and yelling at people, let's go, okay? Dak, again, throws 3 or 4 passes on 3rd down, 2 yards shy of the first down marker. I'm not understanding. Can somebody please tell me, do these guys not know what those markers mean on the sidelines? I'm not understanding, okay? A couple other things, and then I'm gonna let you talk to me off the line. But I know people are frustrated with our defensive coaching as well right now, too. But I'll tell you this. This is the difference between a great coach and a semi-good coach, okay? When I say the name Marinelli, there's any defensive lineman in the league. He could be a first-round pick, okay? He didn't do good at that team, but we bring him in. The first thought is, Marinelli, if there's anybody that can get some juice out of that cat, it's going to be Marinelli, right? We don't say that about Jason Garrett whatsoever. There's not 1 ounce of me. There's not 1 ounce of me that thinks as soon as somebody comes on this team that Jason Garrett's going to get the best out of them.
Hey, Coach, before you go, I want you to stay on the line, though, actually.
Okay.
That's a good observation for the nation, man, when you said those things about when you think about the players that when you get in front of with Rob Marinelli, that he can at least bring them up to the next level. But when you look at Jason Garrett's situation, we look at it like, maybe we can win in spite of the coaching difficulties.
Absolutely.
My thing is, Coach, when you look at this thing, the only way that this thing can change if Jerry Jones himself just say, hey, you know what, there's no salary cap as it relates to coaching. Let me get somebody in here that know what they're doing. Jason Garrett, I still want you in some shape, form of some shape or form of being a consultant or something like that. If you want to appease Jason Garrett, you see. Because I think that Jerry Jones is in that business. Who was that guy? I think he did it a little bit with Dan Reeves, didn't he? Did he bring him back in for just on a consultant?
Yep, just consultant.
Yeah,
somebody that could talk to people. Absolutely.
That's
let me say this one. Let me say this one last thing. All right. The New England Patriots. It's less than 2 minutes. We got 3 timeouts. Right. What are the New England Patriots going to be doing to run the clock down? What are they going to do?
Short passes and running the rock.
Well, most likely, we know the coach that's over there, he's going to run the ball. All right?
Right.
Why do we leave the left side? I mean, dude, it was not even anybody close to Sonny Michel when he ran to the left side, bro. You got to help me understand this, brother. You know what they're going to do. Okay, you know they're going to run the rock. They're running the clock off. They know that their offense is not doing what they think they can do all day long, so they're going to run the ball. Guess what we do? We have 4 men in the box like we normally do. We don't have a goal line special up there. We don't have something. We know they're going to run the ball. You got to stop them, and we don't. As usual, some way, shape, or form, we're able to point. Don't get me wrong. Listen, I played a lot of sports. You've played a lot of sports. Not everything can go on coaching, but I'm sick and tired of being able to point out the things that we can say, all right, well, we always talk about, well, what if the players execute? What if the coaches executed? How about that? What if the coaches started executing? I'm tired of Jason Garrett being able to stand up there and not be the sacrificial lamb. It's time for that man to stand up there and understand that he's got things that he's done wrong, and I'm tired of him clapping and looking at other people and saying execution, execution, execution. It's time for somebody to stand and point at him, and I don't mean this in a dead way, okay? I don't mean executing, but I'm saying it's time for that dude to stand up there and be the sacrificial lamb and say, you know what? This is on me. We've never heard Jason Garrett do that one time.
Man.
This is Sparta!
Thank you, Law.
Really appreciate you, bro, man. Thank you for calling in,
man.
Salute.
God bless, brother.
Amen.
Hey, have a good Thanksgiving.
Oh, you as well, man. Shout out to you. Coach knocked it down for us, man. Hey, 682-214-4087 is the number. And he's saying that, hey, he's tired of hearing this thing, man. We need to have coaches out there balling on the sword as well. 337. What's on your mind, 337?
What's up, man? You know this is DJ Mixology, man. You know the guy who told you about Tony Pollard. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And Roger, Lafayette, Louisiana. Look, real quick, man. This game falls upon, once again, the coaches. I mean, we going to be savages about this. We got to quit being all pity-patty about it, man. Cut and dry. Jason Garrett is not pulling his weight, man. He's not. And, looking at this game, there was some questionable play calling, but Dak wasn't playing the greatest game, but he was playing in the elements, man.
True.
And stuff. This was going to be an ugly win either way.
True.
And I just look at it, man, as a Cowboy diehard fan, man, since Robert Newhouse. Let's go way back.
Way back.
Right. I'm talking about when Pittsburgh Steelers beat us. We talking about I'm just discombobulated. I'm crying on the floor type of Cowboy fan. You get me?
Oh yeah, you like me? Yeah, crying on the floor, man.
Crying on the floor, man.
Bunch of holes in walls, man.
Right. But man, I see, and this is the thing. We have to use what our strengths are. We know, man, the running game. If we would put these guys in the backfield and we would fake to Zeke, pitch it out to Pollard. I mean, and remember I brought this up. I said we got to put these guys in situations, these rookies, under pressure to know how they're going to react. Pollard is going to have what we call the growing pains of a rookie, because he's, when you putting stuff on their shoulders, they get a little nervous. But hey, once they go through it, if they make their mistakes or if they come out of it, we live, we learn, we live to fight another day. But we didn't utilize Zeke and Pollard enough, and you see Pollard was very effective. I didn't see. I had my little grandson with me, and he was kind of distracting me and keeping my blood pressure down. But the passing out of the backfield to Pollard, 2 tight end sets. We were let down by Jason Witten. I mean, he missed some crucial catches that were catchable balls, and I can't blame that on nobody but him. He has to put that on his shoulders. You're right. The caller ahead was right. Running routes short of the sticks.
Got to cover the sticks, and then you got to turn. Look, man, and that's just the philosophy of the route running. I don't know if Sanjay Lyles is teaching these guys those type of situations, but the players got to be cognitive enough too to get deep enough in their sets and come back towards the ball, and they got to continue to fight back towards the ball as well. They can't let the ball hit them in the chest and allow the ball for the opposition to make a play on the ball. But I really appreciate you, bro. You got any more thoughts,
Wait,
man?
I got one more question.
Go ahead.
I really want you to do the breakdown on Amari Cooper on this game, because I just can't believe for the life of me he was shut down.
Oh yeah. I will show those clips there of Amari Cooper, and we got and this is my thing, Cowboy Nation. When I do this, shout out to you, my guy from Lafayette. You Lafayette, right?
Yeah, Lafayette, Louisiana.
And then Robert Newhouse, for those who don't know, he wore a big number 44. So for those who don't know his number, hey, Robert Newhouse, big number 44. Man,
late great,
man. Here's the thing. when we do these observations, it's not the fact that it's going to be the end-all, be-all for the team. What we're going to do is point out the obvious. We're going to point out the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's what it's going to be about, so that we can get a better understanding of what happened. That's how I do the film sessions. I do the film reviews. But I really appreciate you. I will point out the Amari Cooper situation. And
we need to see that.
Yeah, maybe we'll point out these tripping calls too. But salute to you, brother.
Yeah. We're going to even go in there with that. But definitely, man, we'll let somebody else. I mean, that's obvious fruit. You feel me? That's obvious. But definitely, man, salute to you and keep pushing out your great content, man. And I see bigger things out there for you, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you. Thank you, fam. Salute.
All right, man.
That was a good call, man. Brought us way back to the new houses of the world. For those who don't remember, he wore number 44, and he was a big dude. Robert, the late great Robert Newhouse. So the call number is 682-214-4087. The nation never sleeps. So as soon as I'm off from here, dive into some food and we look at some more film. 909, what's on your mind?
What's going on, Law?
It's your world, man. It's your world.
My world. Honestly, I don't think we played that bad of a game today.
Right? We didn't play bad at all. It was a game that we could have won if only we took care of the sloppy mistakes. But go ahead.
That's been the problem the whole entire time. Is we constantly say going into these games, and I watch your content and I love everything you give and everything, and shout out to you and salute, because what do we do every time? We shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yes.
Every time. And I don't care about the slow starts. That doesn't bother me. I know everybody's complaining about it. Everybody's losing their minds. But the fact that we mentally break down and have to pick it up, and we could have won every single game that we've lost. Nobody has shut us out.
You really thinking about that? We was mentally, or we was physically in every game. You know what? Believe it or not, think about this, fam. If you go all the way back, and I'm going way back to like 2015, that was a horrible year. But if you really look at the box scores, we was in every game.
And that's the way we've been this year.
That's the way we've been. Although the records is different, we were collectively in every game. Now, we do have more of a dynamic player. Of course, we don't have a whoever the guy who can throw the best balls. Was it Whedon or something like that? We don't have a Whedon out there, and we don't have a DeMarco Murray. DeMarco, whatever the guy, what's the guy name? Number 20, running the ball. I forgot his name, but in 2015, we had guys that couldn't really establish and score. We had a better defense in 2015. But you guys can help me out in the chat for who I'm talking about. I think it was McFadden who was running the rock, right? And 2015.
Oh, yeah, we picked him up,
Yeah, we picked him up. So we was in every game. So it's kind of similar to this year. We are pretty much in every game. And the thing is, in order for us to get over the hump, we looking at this game with our natural eyes as Cowboy fans. The reason why we upset, I think that we would probably accept this loss if it was like 30 to maybe 14 or 30 to maybe 3. But by it being so close, that's what makes us mad, because we look at it and say to ourselves, we are too good of a team to lose to a team that we could have won or beat. You know, that's how we look at it. That's how I'm looking at it. How you looking at it?
No, I agree. And I mean, everyone's disappointed, when we were in the red zone and they decided to kick the ball, and the weather factor, and, I don't have much trust in Brett Maher or anything. But, I honestly think I would. I don't like Troy Aikman. He wants to be the best Cowboy, and that's why he hates on us so much. But I think we should have gone for it on 4th.
Right. I feel you.
I mean, I think it was 4th and 7 or something, and I think we should have went for it. I mean, we were doing well with running the ball. We were pounding it down their throat. But, of course, when it comes down, because I know everyone's saying it's coaching and everything, I'm tired of trying to run it down the middle. It was working. We were switching with Pollard. We were switching with Zeke. We were driving. And I understand it was the weather, like the throwing. I think Dak kind of, he finally settled down, but, he kind of was nervous about throwing the ball and all that with the interception. But do they not realize that pounding the ball down the middle, we get figured out? And you need these play actions and everything, and I don't know. It's so frustrating.
Man, it's frustrating because we can look at this team and say, if we are better prepared. We got Jerry Jones, who a multi-billionaire, not just a singularity of billionaire, a multi-billionaire. And we knew, didn't you know that it was going to be raining Tuesday or Wednesday of this week? You knew it was going to rain.
I think, yeah. I was listening to Mark was basically the one with Mark Holmes with the weather updates and everything, and I was just like, this game is going to be grimy.
Yeah. So and this is what I said pre-game talking. Shout out to Mark Holmes. He's always on the bubble with that stuff, man. Just already.
I love all you guys' content, man. You guys are the best.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. When I talked about opportunity and preparation, and I said success is when preparation meets the opportunity. We knew for a fact that it was going to be wet. We knew that the ball was going to be slippery. We knew it was going to be rain in the forecast. We knew that we were going to be, needing to have the right cleats and these sorts of things. And we got a billionaire, Jerry Jones. Don't you think he could have had somebody with some water hose? Even the cheerleaders. He could have made a wet T-shirt contest out of the situation, for crying out loud. He could have had the cheerleaders with the water hose all flying everywhere on the field. But we didn't take and capitalize off of it. Yeah.
100%. Did you happen to see Gronk calling Jerry out for that?
No, educate me on that, man. Hit me up with that.
Oh, man, Gronk just made Fox Sports, whatever. He's on a little panel, whatever. He's getting his money. I'm all about it. Go ahead and get what you can get. But he straight up said, Bill Belichick had those boys in the rain, in the weather, smart coach, GOAT of coaches, for all we all know. The dude's going to go down in history. But he straight up said you had Jerry Jones going to his boys saying, "Do you guys really want to practice today? I think it's a little cold out, and let's go into the dome. Let's go to the practice field." And it's like, no, you get them out. You, like you said, spray some water hoses, get some T-shirt contests going. Something they knew what they were going into, and I'm tired of them constantly saying it's about execution and watching the player interviews, and it's all in our mind, and it's us, and we got to do this better. And I'm like, then prove it to your fans. Prove it to your fans that you were doing that. Because and this is, I'm not going to go conspiracy because I've already heard all the conspiracies. Dak would have scored. Dak was going to drive that ball down. And then those flags started coming in.
Yeah, it's
we would have scored and won.
Yes, indeed, man. Oh, my goodness.
But
man, good call, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I love your content. Thank you so much. And salute and keep up the great work. Loyal fan right here, man, for you. And appreciate the call, man.
Appreciate you, man. Salute.
Go Cowboys.
Yes, indeed. Go Cowboys. Good call from the 909. Spoke whatever was on his mind so that we can understand that, hey, this team, we're not sitting back fine. We just looking at this team, looking at it like this. All that stuff rhyme with 909. You see where I'm going with it, right? 518. Let me know what you mean, man. Talk to me.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, turn your radio down just a little bit, and let's go with it. 518.
Radio down. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about the two trips today?
Man, the officials tripping, man.
I don't know.
They came at a pivotal moment when we made big plays, good plays. To me personally, this is just my thoughts of how the officials are officiating this team or against this team. They need to be held accountable. I think that Jason Garrett deserves us as fans a fine. Meaning that he can need to go out there and speak ill of the officiating and get the fine from the league. And I think that would make us at least know that he's a non-robot guy. That's just me. Yeah. Or Jerry Jones. No, not Jerry, because they hold this thing too much longer on Jerry. You know how it goes with Jerry Jones and Roger Goodell. But I think that the head coach need to get a fine. Just talking ill about the officiating.
Yeah, that was really messed up. I know about maybe Dak. If he had a glove on earlier, maybe he would have played a little better. Probably if he had a glove on maybe earlier.
Yeah, Dak Prescott should have been more cognitive enough to say, "Hey, it's raining, it's slippery. Look, I want people right now. If it's raining where you at, or you just go in the shower and grab a football and see if you can grab it naturally with your hands without a glove on it in the rain. I think that he should have been cognitive enough to know that every game, every play is a pivotal moment, and 9 times out of 10, you lose football games just off of one play, believe it or not.
Yeah, and Zeke should have been used more in the red zone.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Yes, indeed. Ezekiel, the main man, Elliott need to be used a little bit more in that red zone. What else you have for the show?
Just calling up to say what's up and go Cowboys, no matter what.
No matter what, man, win, lose, or draw, man, we going to still be here. I might talk ill about this team, but I'm still here. Nobody can tell me to take Cowboys apparel off. Nobody can tell me to say, hey, sit down and stop all the talking, Law, because I'm going to still support this team regardless, but we're going to point out the flaws in this team, though. We ain't going to just allow to kick it.
Yep.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in to the show, fam.
Thank you. Good night.
Yes, indeed. That's a good call from the 518, man. Just putting out some things that like with the tripping calls and these sorts of things. 682-214-4087. Give me a call. Shout out to those. Willie Johnson, really appreciate you. 210, what's good, man? What you got in on it? Talk to me. You're live on the nation. Turn your radio down. Turn your radio down. Yeah, it was good though.
Okay. For one, helps well today. I was really looking forward for the Cowboys to win.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't catch most of it because I was at work, sadly. Dak Prescott, I still love that dude, man. I feel like he's gonna take us far in years to come. Not gonna be this year with Jason Garrett as our coach. Honestly, I think Jason Garrett, he's a good coach for regular season, but when it comes to like the big games where it counts the most, he kind of just crumbles and just falls apart, I guess.
Most certainly, man. I have several teams that I would love to see Jason Garrett coaching, like the Cincinnati Bengals, maybe the Browns. Maybe he can coach them. The Jets or the New York Giants. I think that he can coach that team. Even the Redskins. If you want to coach for them, I think he can coach them up. But not for our Dallas Cowboys team. I just think that we deserve, as if we have all of this luxury stuff, we deserve to have a luxury coach. In my opinion, not a coach that's still learning.
Oh yeah, man. We need someone who's gonna have the balls to actually make those decisions in those tough moments. Man. I don't mind them taking the field goal, 4th and 7.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind. I like the points. We get the points. I put this at a 4-point game difference. Still need to get a touchdown regardless, but just it comes down to execution, man. And as much as I would love to blame the refs, because I did see that one drive where we had that 3rd and 1, we made a completion,
mm-hmm.
but it was called back for a tripping call, completely bogus, still the momentum in the hole. And I saw the clip of the first one with Tyron Smith. That was another terrible one too, man.
I mean, that was a horrible call, man. I think that Smith been just getting calls crazy all year. And you would think, as a veteran left tackle in the National Football League, you would think that they would at least turn a blind eye to some of that stuff, or give him the, as they say, the, like what they call it when you're a veteran, like the veteran love at least, or something like that.
Yeah.
So they should at least do that, but we don't get that from him. At oftentimes when he playing against speed rushers, not saying that the guy whooped his butt. But, he tends to pull a little bit. But he normally have his hands in the right spot. He have his hands to the inside. Coaches always say, as long as you got your hands into the inside, you winning. But, that's the story of a different day.
I strongly, I'm a firm believer that it's because he's a part of the Cowboys. They're gonna look for everything and anything to call against us. I feel it has to do something ever since Jerry Jones went against Roger Goodell and not to extend his contract.
Mm-hmm.
And I think ever since then, I don't know if it's true. I guess it's like a conspiracy for me that they're out to get the Cowboys in moments like this. Just didn't want to see the Cowboys make it further.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying from the 210, man, but I'm going to have to let you go. But here's the one thing that I want to say before I let you go. When you look at this collective team, when you start talking about what Roger Goodell and Jerry Jones, their fight, remember, and I can't blame Roger Goodell's all the way because Jerry Jones tried to take $45 million from his pocketbook. And we'll be blind and foolish to think that if Roger Goodell don't have any hidden agenda against the Dallas Cowboys when he tried to take $45 million from his plate. I can tell you right now, if somebody tried to take $5 from me, I'm going to look at them kind of sideways. I can only imagine if it was $45 million.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but really appreciate you, bro. Thank you for calling in to the show.
Big time, man. Big time.
Salute. Yes, indeed. So we got to look at it from those parameters. Not saying that Roger Goodell deserved to hate on our Dallas Cowboys, but Jerry Jones tried to come for the man's job, and it was $45 million. Yeah. I don't know about you all, but $45 million is a lot of chinchetta. 971. What's good?
Hey, what up?
Talk to me, man. What's our record is? 6-5.
Hey, what's going on, man? It's Brookhaven, Mississippi now.
What's good, Brookhaven? That's right down the street, man. That's right down the street from Natchez.
Man, I keep trying to tell y'all, man, not to get you. I heard what you said earlier about making a run, but
maybe with the big maybe in there.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up, man. I mean, I was looking at the game and I was like, I was calling these play out, man, on the Patriots game. I was like, they're gonna run this, do this, but anyway, man, my point is, I want to holler at you, man, about that Cooper trade, man. I think it even came back to bite us real deep.
You talking about Amari Cooper trade?
Yeah. Then we got Cobb, and then we got Austin, man. They want to make it a Dak friendly. Oh man, Dak friendly game. Looks like, man, I think it gets old, man. I really think it old. The time is like catching up to him, man. Cooper can't make it. Cobb can't really run that well. Austin can't really do. It's like, man, I'm telling you, man. Every year, Jerry is in the draft room, and they picking these players, man, and they just not hitting on these receivers. I think it came back to bite us.
You watched that NFL? Do you watch Stephen A. Smith doing the basketball commentary? Yeah. And he got this segment called "Oh no, you didn't! Oh no, you didn't! Oh no, you didn't!" Yeah. Oh no, you didn't about Cooper now. Hey, Cooper was everything for us. Matter of fact, this entire draft to date, to this 2019 draft, fam, it's a bust without Cooper. We can look at it like the Tristan Hill trash of a decision. We don't know what about him. We can talk about the Connor McGovern. We don't know about him. We can talk a little bit about the Tony Pollards, if we're going to be able to use him, if we're not going to be able to use him. But he's like a C player at this point. He can't give us a consistent level of playing with this particular staff. Everybody else is still up in the winds. We don't know. So I can look at it like this. Maybe the Cobb acquisition, you can have strong, valid points with that. But today was a hard day to talk about Cobb because he made the only big play out there outside of Ezekiel Elliott. So I look at it, yes, Cobb is old, but our problem stems a little bit deeper, like you said, with Jerry Jones. With Jerry Jones being the person that he is, sticking his toe in the water. And I think that this guy, Papa Rob Marinelli, we love him. I know you love him. But we need to throw away the key to the draft war room and not allow that brother inside that room. We need to keep him out and just let Will McClay do his decisions, because I don't think that Papa Rob Marinelli knows how to evaluate these defensive front players as it relates to drafting.
Right. Yeah, man, I looked at the game, man. I was like, we ain't gonna win this game. I mean, we came down to the Saints, and there was the other games that came close. Remember how they had the ball at the end, couldn't win, or something happened. It's like, okay. It's like, I gotta keep telling everybody, man, just don't get your hopes up, man. Find something else to do with your life. I mean, until this until the season change again. Don't stress yourself out, man. Go walk and do something, man.
Hey, you talking to Law Nation? You're talking to Lawrence now. You ain't talking to Law Nation. You talking to Lawrence?
Just walking around. Go out there and walk around in the streets, get some exercise, man. Turn the TV off for a half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, man. Go and turn the TV off. Go hang out with your wife or your kids or whatever, man. It's just stressful.
I know it's stressful.
It's just stressful, man. You got to find another habit to do, man, because it's like until things change. I mean, it's like how many years? I mean, it's like over and over. It's same thing as last year. We made a little run for 5-6 games. You're like, okay, well, back at the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've never seen a coach just look at the side, just keep looking and looking.
Yeah.
And you know what?
That was
you know what, man? I got one more thing. I'll let you go. Now they had the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a man back. We just should have punted the ball. They didn't have a man back. This is I think in the fourth quarter, might have been a little bit in the third. They didn't have a man back to punt the ball, right? I was like, what the hell? I mean, we should have punted. They didn't have a man back to receive it, and we got a penalty. I said, what the heck? So we got a penalty. We could have punted the ball down to the 10-yard line, and they wouldn't have had a man to return it. And we got a penalty, and the Patriots finally put a man back there to return the kick. And I was like, oh man, this is awful. Mm-hmm. Right then and there, if you can go back and look at it, look what I'm saying on tape. Do you remember that?
Right. I kind of saw a little bit of the announcers talking.
Yeah,
about
we got a penalty for delay of game, and then they didn't have a man back to fill the punt, you know, to pick up some extra yards at a crucial time of the game. I said, that's it. We done lost. I said, this coaching thing is all over, bro. That's what I said. You need to, when I saw that, I was like, oh, no. We ain't going to do nothing. We got, how much, 6 more games left?
Yeah, I think so. 5 or 6.
5
games.
Yeah, we're going to.
But I feel you, though, for the 971, man. I really appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I'm going to holler at you. All right, man. Watch all these 6 more games and see if we make it or not.
Salute, bro. Yes, indeed. All right.
Yeah, all right. See if we make it, because I don't. 50-50 chance I can't.
No, but let's go, Cowboy Nation. Let's go, man. Appreciate you, though.
Okay, good. I'm just. But
on Cooper though. Like but on Cooper. Else. Oh no, you didn't. I don't
know.
All right,
bro. The jury out on that though. The jury's out on that.
How dare you have the gall and the temerity and to sully Amari Cooper. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Hey, my thing is with Amari Cooper, man, you got to understand this, Cowboy Nation. The weather was crazy. And that's not me making excuses. The 202, you live. What's good?
What's going on, Law?
Nothing to it, man. It's your world.
It's GT Wavy in the chat box. I'm thinking right now we need to go for Keith O'Quinn.
We need to do what with Keith O'Quinn?
He needs to be. I think he's gonna be fired first because Hey,
Wavy, can you hold it down for like few minutes, man? I gotta really re-up on this juice right quick. So hold it down for a few minutes, okay? Talk to the nation.
All right, I got you.
You in control.
All right, what's going on, y'all? I got a YouTube channel myself. It's DMV George. Y'all can go subscribe to me. But besides that, just chilling. How many are on the chat box? I don't even know what to say to y'all. Good. I don't want to hear nobody say nothing about Amari Cooper, especially that last guy. Because Amari Cooper, he changed our season, our last 2 seasons, the half of last season and this season. So I really don't want to hear nothing about Amari Cooper.
Hey, Wavy, you still live?
Yeah, what's up?
All right, man. So how you feel, man? You holding it down the fort for the nation, man. How you feel? What you talking about, man?
Basically, I think we got outcoached, especially on special teams. But then it goes back to Jason Garrett and the fact that, so I believe Jason Garrett has an input on everything. He has an input on the defense, even though he's the offensive coach.
Hold, before you go on that. Should have an input on everything, but go ahead.
I think he has some sort of input on everything because he is the head coach of this team.
True.
So I think so Chris Richard, when he came here, he's a cover three. He's a cover three man. They play cover three, but it's still mixed into our old cover two from 2016 and 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Can we? So I'd never blame Chris Richard when people it's his fault because his tenacity and his scheme it's been proven to work. But besides that, the Patriots, they blitzed us on 3rd and long. We sat back there and let Tom Brady have 4 seconds plus to throw the ball. Tom Brady has won 6 Super Bowls, am I right? And you cannot give him that much time to throw the ball.
True.
That had me cause we were just playing conservative, dropping back in coverage. Raining or not, he's going to find somebody open.
True that.
The conservative play calling and then when we just sit back and let them pick us apart, that's why we're not getting any turnovers because we're not being aggressive on them.
Oh, okay. I feel what you're saying. So what else you have for the show, man? Really appreciate you, man. Good information for the nation, though.
I can't even fault the offense because even though it's raining conditions, I just hope because it's gonna be a whole lot of coaching staff changes. I hope Kellen Moore doesn't go.
So you want to give the young phenom a little longer longitude and latitude. You know the only piece of the problem with that, at least 2 years. So my thing is, I don't know. It's going to be another growing pains, though, man. Unless this is my only cry for hope. We bring in and elevate a defensive-minded person who earned their stones in this NFL, who can gel well with Chris Richard, and we roll it from there. If not, then you're going to have a pair of rookiness out there, fresh coaches out there. The Kellen Moore's going to have the interview, and the Chris Richard. I don't know. I don't want to give this team that excuse of, oh, that's a young coach. That's a young coach. We too prevalent as an organization to live through that again. I don't know, man. It's a fickle situation.
I feel that because Kellen Moore, he's not doing a bad job. It's just the fact that our offense, we're number one in yards and all that stuff. But what are we in touchdowns or points scored per game?
We're doing that. But look at this. We got the exact same replication on the opposite side. Think about this. Bill Belichick, he's the head coach of the New England Patriots. We understand that his pedigree, his thoughts, his process is far second to none, right?
Yeah.
You remember his offensive coordinator, I forgot his name, is at the tip of my tongue, but he went all the way to the Denver Broncos, beat Bill Belichick, I believe, in one of those games. Josh McDaniel, is that his name? Is this his offensive coordinator's name? Didn't he go
I don't know.
You don't even know. But he went all the way to the Denver land, and he was a head coach there. Started off successfully a little bit, and then on top of that, he kind of fizzled away, and then he went back on his hands and knees to Bill Belichick, you see. So I'm thinking that I don't want that situation to be our story. I think that right now, if this team want to win Super Bowls with an S or be in the playoff consistently, they probably have to reach out to the other Harbaugh brother, or they have to reach out to a veteran coach. Maybe it's the coach for Ohio State. I don't know, or whoever. I don't know. I don't know.
They need whoever's going to stop them from making these mistakes and shooting ourselves in the foot.
Yes, indeed. Jack Del Rio, he's out there. That's somebody said it. But really appreciate you, man. Thank you for holding it down for me, man. Really do.
All right.
Salute, bro.
Have a good night.
Oh, you as well. Good caller, man. But, my thing is I don't want to go through that phase of having a young coach that we have to live through his mistakes. I think that Kellen Moore can probably grab hold to this team, but we just don't know. 561, what's on your mind? 561. All right, call back 561. All right, anybody else? 682-214-4087. No, right now I'm in biology teacher. 5-year plan, bro. Okay, appreciate you. 561, call back. Really appreciate you, man. You live.
Yo, I'm live like 95. What's up, Law?
You live in the mix, man. Talk to me. Sound like you're on the road or something.
Yeah, well, I'm from a window down. You know I'm a truck driver, man. Jake's
Okay.
great, man.
All right, the great was good, man. Tell me what happened, man.
Oh, man, you know, I called in halftime with a lot of juice, but, man, I'm not going to nitpick and throw blame. You know, everybody wants to blame Jason Garrett. It's all good. I think we just lost, you know what I'm saying, a better coach team, a more disciplined team. But, you know, I had some couple points I try to write them down so I don't forget.
True.
One, Chris Richard, I'm thinking maybe he ain't the savior that we all thought he was.
Agree.
You know,
agree.
Hold
on. Before you go into that, I agree, but keep going.
Yeah, because you got to think about it. He's the man that supposedly orchestrated the Legion of Boom, but he's over here, and I'm watching Seattle. They don't look like they fell off at all. So he don't look like he was the brainchild behind that. He might have been a player's coach. He don't look like the brainchild. And I know we all want to fire Jason Garrett. And, you know, sometimes I support him. Sometimes I don't. I would like him fired too, but we all need to take a minute and realize it's not going to happen.
Jake, before you go into the other talking point there, are you married?
Yeah. Am I married?
Yeah.
You can say that, yeah.
Yeah, you can say that. So sometimes you trust your wife or sometimes you don't. Let me ask you that.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? So if you fool around, you on the road, you're a truck driver, and you hear me, and you hear my voice, you calling your wife, and you hear my voice in the background, and remember, you're listening to nothing. You go turn around, right?
I'm making that U-turn, yeah.
That's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. So now we can move trust out the way, right? So we having real grown man conversation. That situation have been compromised. You can't trust her no more. So now that you don't trust her no more, you're not gonna do your job correctly, right?
You're right.
You're not gonna do what you as a man. You're gonna sit there. You're gonna try to figure out, hey, the last time I was on the road, you had a guy that sounded like a bootleg Barry White a little bit. Hey, I don't want to be saying that I don't trust you, baby. But this guy was over the house. Seemed like he was going in the kitchen. He seemed too comfortable, and I can't have that on my watch.
And everything.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? We gotta address the elephant in the room.
Talk to me,
big
then.
elephant. And the person is a lot of these Cowboys fans. They probably wasn't around. I had the blessing to see 3 Super Bowls myself. Mm-hmm. The elephant in the room is gonna be Jerry Jones. That you ain't gonna come in and outshine Jerry Jones.
No way.
He did it to Jimmy Johnson. The last real coach that we had that was turning the team around, Bill Parcells. And when Bill Parcells was like, hey, I want to do it this way, he was out the door. You know what I mean? So that dream coach that we thinking is gonna come, it's not gonna happen until after Jerry Jones keeps the bucket. And I'm not wishing bad on him at all. But we're going to have to see a good coach under the Stephen Jones regime. But as long as Jerry Jones is running the show, we're never going to get that coach that wants full control. Because Jerry Jones is going to come out from that. I'm glad he stopped coming down from that booth
getting on
the sideline.
He getting old, man.
You know,
hey, you know, we talk about those hips, man. They get cold.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's young, he was like Arthur Blanks. You know, I think he's a little bit older than Arthur Blanks. You know, I think that's his name. He's the owner of the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, we saw when they when the head come down, smooth, cool, D, and everything. But when you get those, you get old, man. Them knees, man. It's hard to squeeze and get up.
And last but not least, I play football, not no college, and I play high school football. At the end of the day, players got to be held accountable. You know what I mean? You can't see that it's a windy day. Tony Pollard, like, come on, man. You knew the Folk wasn't getting that ball into the end zone. Not once, not twice. So why are you standing? I don't want to hear coaching. That coach is not going to come out there and hold your hand. You know what I mean? That coach is not going to hold on third down. That coach is not going to drop balls. And you know what I mean? We are our own worst enemy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't want to fall into the narrative that's being played around because we're a very emotional fan base. You know, we're the only fan base that attacks our own players. You know, some say Dak is trash or Zeke is.
True.
We just got to do our job, man. I was hearing one thing that on the Fox halftime show that, you know, made some sense. It was, what's that tight end for the Patriots? He was talking on Fox and stuff.
Gronk.
What's his name? Gronk. Mm-hmm. Gronk said the Patriots are going to win because they practice in this kind of weather. And it's true. Jerry Jones has the Cowboys on this pretty boy stuff. Oh, it's raining outside. Let's go practice inside the stars. Bill Belichick, if it's raining, he's outside. If it's snowing, he's outside. You know, at the end of the day, it's like Jason Garrett's not prepared, but it all comes down to Jerry Jones. He's not going to give up control, and we as Cowboy fans are never going to get that coach that's going to lead us to the promised land. You know, we've seen what happened with Jimmy Johnson. You know, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, but I gotta defend Pete Carroll for a quick second, you know. And we talked about Chris Richard and these sort of things. Pete Carroll has established a coaching tree, you see. You can look at Pete Carroll, his philosophy. We can say that his winning records is pretty much percentages as it relates to regular season. I think it's in the same wheelhouse of a Jason Garrett at this point collectively. But however, when you are able to take one program, he took the Patriots to the Super Bowl one time. You see, although he lost or what have you, then he turned around and took the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, against Green Bay. And then he also went to college land and he won some deals there. I think that in order for Jason Garrett, he may have the same substance that a Pete Carroll has, but he don't know how to win as it relates to feeling comfortable. Meaning that I would prefer Jason Garrett to go to college and coach for about 10 years straight, 10 to 15 years, and then come back to the pros, and then that way he can just adjust a little bit better. That's my observation of the two.
I feel like Garrett is second guessing himself because that 3rd down and 1, you know, logic would tell you give the ball to Zeke, but I think something that happened in his mind remembering that game for Minnesota when he gave the ball to Zeke and we lost. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna come back and do it different. But sometimes you just gotta go with what makes sense. We should have ran that ball on 3rd down. You know, there's no reason for it. Even if we have to run it 2 times. But, you know, players got to execute. Jason Witten dropped passes, you know, and we got lucky a couple times. Tom Brady's receivers didn't catch that wet ball or, you know, the score could have been a little different. But, you know, it is what it is. We got to take the wins with the losses as Cowboy fans. You know, the sky's not falling. We're 6-5. We're still in first place. And in our division, you know, most likely we're going to win that division. Be in the playoffs, how far we go, I don't know. But you can't get all emotional. We got to get back to the drawing board because we got a tough opponent coming in our house trying to ruin our Thanksgiving dinner. So we got to get off this Patriots. You know, we're going to drink to it for the night and then get off this Patriots because Buffalo is not playing. And you know, they're coming to win. You know, and last before I leave, the coach that I would love for us to have over here is, you know, probably, like you said, Jim Harbaugh, man, or one of the Harbaugh brothers.
One of them, yeah. Because I get their names mixed up, too. Jim or John, whatever. Johnny, Jimmy, whoever.
The one that played for the Colts, man, I'm going way back. He played before Peyton Manning was there. Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
I would love him as a coach because he seems like he has that balls. Like, he knows what he wants to do and he's going to do it. Garrett seems like he has potential, but he's not quite sure how he wants to do it. You know, that's really all I got to say. You know, I don't want to hog up the phone line. I know there's a lot of emotional callers I want to call and cry, but I'm not crying. You know, my head's still up high. Go Cowboys all day, man.
All right, Jake the Great, man. Really appreciate you, fam.
All day long.
Salute, bro. Good call. Good call, man, from him. Good call from him. So, now that we established you can't be lukewarm on the coach. You can't halfway trust him. You got to all the way trust your coach. You can't be in the middle. Sometimes I trust him now. Sometimes I don't. So that's just my observation of the last call. 954, what's good?
Hey, what's up, Law?
What's going on, man? You know, we just 6-5. We chilling. We're a good team right now. The operative word.
Yeah. We lead the division. That's most important. Big loss today, but just gonna say a couple things: offense, defense, special teams. But firstly, offense. I I feel like we don't game plan to actually win games. Like, I mean, we go out there, we execute, or whatever Jason Garrett says in all his interviews when he has them. We go out there, that's the game plan to win. But I don't think we take advantage of what we actually have as far as talent on our offensive side of the ball. Like, I honestly feel like Cobb against any team's third cornerback is a win.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly feel like that. That's how I feel. And as far as this game goes, with the weather conditions, the 2 tight end set, it was working. And there was a few times where it was actually one drive where we had Tony. We were going back and forth with Tony and Zeke, and we had Tavon Austin out there. I think they were so afraid of what the speed that Tavon Austin had that they didn't really want to stack the box, and we was moving the ball. Right. It was actually that one drive where Amari sat out the entire series, and we moving the ball down the field, but we didn't score. Mm-hmm. And then when we went into the half and came back out, we never went back to that. And I was like, what happened, man? Like, just anything similar to that, we never came back to it. I was a little upset about that. Couple drop balls, yeah. We missed those 2. Uh-huh. But, we missed some key things on offense. And another thing is with as far as the weather conditions go, when we had the wind with us, I feel like we should have at least took a few shots down the field instead of playing it safe here and there. Like, we were playing it too safe. We was playing it too safe because we didn't want to make too many mistakes, but we could have did better on offense. As far as defense goes, I feel like we could have beat New England. All we had to do was eliminate Julian Edelman. We take Julian Edelman out that game and let Brady throw to guys that he don't throw to on the regular to win the game for him. And we stopped the run, and that game is won. Jordan Lewis did a great job when he was on him, but I feel like we did not game plan to actually take Julian Edelman out the game. We should have took Julian Edelman out the game and made Brady win with somebody that he's not used to winning with, and we would have won that game.
Yeah, I think that touchdown pass on 31 spooked the Cowboys a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that also on third down, a lot of plays, everybody was looking at it. I was yelling it out on the TV screen saying that, hey, Cowboy Nation, be mindful that they're going to try to attempt to throw the ball at number 11. And I think that poor decision of the Dallas Cowboys to stay in man when you know for sure that the field is slippery and wet, that the one-on-ones, hey, this ball going to try to come out quick, especially, he hung up, he lost connection. But when you see that one-on-one connection with that Cowboy Nation, that's what we see out there. Especially, let me see if I can do this with the phone call situation. All right, I'm going to end the phone calls. I'm going to close the phone line down right quick. When we see the one-on-ones with the situation, we should have played more zone in the weather condition, especially when we saw there was an empty back formation, knowing that our defensive fronts can get to the quarterback real quick and forces Tom Brady to pass the ball out quickly. But in man-to-man, all he was doing was quick outs. Because when he was in empty back, we know for sure that he didn't have max pro block protection. And I think that we could have capitalized off of that. All right, I've been live for 3 hours and 21 minutes. I was live earlier for 3 hours, so that's 6 hours and 21 minutes. And then I was live earlier today for 45 minutes or something like that. It's 10:31 where I'm at. The Law Nation got to regroup, got to rewatch the game several times. We got to do some film breakdowns and things like that. I really, 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 really do appreciate each and every last one of you all for tuning in to the Nation. It's a loss. I hate losing. Everybody know that I laid that out to everyone. So with that being said, Cowboy Nation, we will do another marathon show maybe on Thanksgiving. If we win, boy. Somebody said when we win, boy, it's going to be crazy, right? So we're going to get this back in. Shout out to you all that joined the elite clubs, man. I really appreciate you all. If you want to join the elite clubs, it's in the description box. Hey, everybody's elite. The silver, the gold, the platinum. We're going to be doing some stuff there. Just stay tuned. Everybody see the badges like J Farm got right now. That's a badge. So whenever you comment, like Mickey Flowers, whenever you comment, and like my girl, Always a Lady, and Elijah, all of those boys, man, that support the nation, man, with the membership deal. Really appreciate you all. Thank those who called in. It goes down to the bottom of my heart, man. I really appreciate those that's on my, I'm everywhere. Those that's on my Facebook panel, really appreciate you. Clarence, shout out to you. Willie, Dave, man, appreciate you. Sean Savage, that's a cold last name. Corey Booker, really appreciate you all. Hey, the overtime is overtime game. Did the 49ers did they come all the way back on the 49ers? Give me the score of the 49ers versus the Green Bay Packers. I might watch a little bit of that. If it's over with, let me know. Shout out to Q Childs, man. Really appreciate the mods, everybody. Don't forget to put down where you all are from. Let me know where you guys are from. Robert says, always keep it real. Really appreciate that. Ty D Law down Thursday. Yes, we're going to get this thing going one way or another, Cowboy Nation. Yes, I'm going to try to keep it real, man. I'm going to try to keep everything in front of us, man. We still have an opportunity. It's not over with yet. We're not mathematically out of anything. We are still in the first place in the NFC East. Yes, the NFC East is the least, but there's no other division. There's no other, I guess, NFL conference or division got more Super Bowls than us collectively. Just think about that. Rue, what's good with you, man? Really appreciate you. Let's go. Let me play some outro music, man, and get on out of here, man. 37-8 Niners. Oh, my goodness. I think my guy Jay Farm was talking about overtime as it relates to this stream. Yes. I feel you. Well, we missed out on some players. We missed out on the George Kittles of the world. We missed out on Tyreek Hill. We missed out on some explosive guys. We can't look at where we missed. We got to figure out ways where we can improve the guys that we got on our team now. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. Let's grow this thing. Let's continue to grind. And thank you all for supporting, especially in those who we had to lay down the super chat. You guys know how it goes. Let's go play. There we go. Yeah, a prize fighter continue to fight even when he's down. He continue to shoot those blows. And even when the opposition tell us we can't win, we figure out ways to get it in. Jason Garrett, although he is what he is, we got to figure out. He's above 500, coach, right now. There's still chances. There's still opportunities, Cowboy Nation. I hate losing. If you don't feel like this after a game, I don't know who you are. I hate it. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to be upset. Cowboy Nation, let's go. Corpus Christi in the house. What's good? Yo, we hate losing. We hate losing, Cowboy Nation, but it's still good. One day at a time, one movement at a time. We're still better than those Shingles. It's all good. Beat those Bills down. Let's take our frustration out on the Bills. Let's do that. I love to see those fire emojis, man. That do something to me, baby. Shout out to Oak Cliff. Shout out to you. Shout out to the nation can't sleep, baby. Shout out to Arizona. Shout out to Galveston, Texas, man. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Pleasant Grove. Shout out to West Side, East Side. Let's go. Yeah. CL, what's good? Watch how that beat break down. We live. 702 to 210. We good. Aaron Rodgers, yeah, we good. Shout out to Hampton, VA, 752. You're listening in to the nation. Q, be good, man. Shout out to you. Mama, I love you. Shout out to you. I know you're watching. Jason Garrett, let me give a shout out to the clapper. Where he at? Make your appearance. There you go. There you go, Jason Garrett. Shout out to Jason Garrett. Let's go. Shout out to the west side, best side, baby. South side, ride all day, every day, even 3 times on a Sunday. Let's go. Yeah, we out, baby. East side, get down. Dallas Cowboys, we located in the west, but we dominate the east because we all some beasts, baby. Let's go. Peace. And remember, you're listening to nothing, and I mean